I just got graduated in BCom and I'm doing Masters in Digital Media. So I'm really looking forward as a career into fashion. So that's how I got it.
My name is Shashi Gandhi. I make robots for a living. I use technology to help people, and we are making a nice virtual product model. So I just came to watch out how fashion is.
Hi, myself Jagan Shah, and I've done my engineering, and we make applications and web applications and all for like digital catalogs and all. I've come here to just see how fashion works.
Hi everybody, I'm Makshi and we are basically into manufacturing of t-shirts and track pants and all that. So I'm here to, and we're currently doing a wholesale thing. So we plan to enter into retail. So I'm just trying to figure out how can we probably enter into that.
I'm Gaurav. We own a garment fashion buying agency. We supply clothes to Zara, Mango, Pepe, and Swiss companies for the
Hi guys, I'm Ashwin. I'm a product manager working with Microsoft. Interested in startup space, so just came here to check out.
When you think of fashion during winter, you think of trench coats or bikinis. That's what I do for a living. I run a winter travel concept store. We specialize in clothing for temperatures up to -20 degrees. There was a quality of the standard for things.
I'm Pankaj, I do my Africa and really need to start. It's from here to make that.
My name is Ratnakar and my company is Toria Navigation and we are a web marketing company. We make reviews for startups and for
Hi everyone, my name is Krishan. I'm also a part of Storylab Animation and I'm basically into designing and illustration and I found it a really interesting platform that needed.
Hi, my name is Chirag. I run an intellectual property rights firm called Ink ID. I've been coming regularly to Startup Saturday, not for the last 1 year, but for a couple of years. I've given talks here in this Startup Saturday.
Hi, my name is Sachin Nedia and I'm a software engineer mostly works on database. I'm here to actually connect to the community and startup. And actually, my friend Roman.
Hi, I'm Hiten Goenka. Recently started a for digital bookings for the website is available.
My name is Sanam Chaudhary. We are into wholesale and retail of Pakistani long suits. Start at that, but I feel this will take you forward.
Hi, my name is Zee. I work at the intersection of mobile, education, and analytics. I'm just here to see what's happening.
Hi, I'm Ajit. I have a startup in fashion, basically manufacturing and fashion. I got to scale up.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. This is Harika. I have a company called Use Photography Solutions, so that makes me a commercial photographer. I practice various forms of photography, one of them being fashion. So that's the reason why I'm here. But other than that, I also do jewelry, food, and cafes, and a lot of other stuff. Yukti over here, my friend, she introduced me to Stand-Up Stanley, so that's why I'm here. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Steve Singh. We have own export house. We work with major international brands and we're coming up with our own brand in domestic market. So just come to see how it goes.
My name is Vasudha. I run a content production company and social media. Work with some interesting brands like LinkedIn. I'm trying to develop a practice which is dedicated to fashion and lifestyle support.
Hi, this is Kritika. I just passed out from IIT this year and joined ICS London. I just want to get to ICS startup and would like to start.
Hi, this is Rajkumar. We are into manufacturing of handcrafted wrist watches. It's a designer piece, so we are into designing and manufacturing.
Co-founder of Springer Handcrafted Timepieces. We manufacture watches which are made of gemstones and gemstones. And I'm here because I think something new I can combine into my therapy.
Hi, I'm Vinay.
I work at TCS as a software engineer. Came here to meet new people and
My name is Sultan. I'm a finance professional. I do stockbroking right now, and I am a qualified financial planner. I want to start a company of financial planning. For that, I am here.
My name is Karthik. I'm in the Intelligent Network. It's a nationwide network of Indian investors. I'm here to connect with learning of CEO investors.
Hi, my name is Vimal and I'm a makeover artist. I've been invited by my friend Ratnakar and I want to start my academy after the university.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Jatin here. I'm also proud of my profession. I'm also a digital artist. What I do is I amalgamate artworks with and I also do my photo walks around and thanks Ratnakar for inviting me. I'm a part of other organization. I thought how this starts.
Hi, myself Santosh Menon. I have startup with retail and Sari digital which we procure directly from the viewer. So under my story we get Sari across India in the one platform. Planning to go online for TV finance.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Ashish Bhattacharya, Captain Manager Bullet Engineering. I came after a long time. I came in startup.
Hi everyone, I'm Rohan Kamal. I run diverse4tv.com. Been attending Startup Saturdays for quite some time now. Been here a lot of college, competitions when I started 1 year back.
Hi friends, I'm Bhanu Prasad. I had a startup. We basically develop mobile apps for designers on Windows 8, Windows Phone, iOS and Android platforms. So I've come here for networking.
Hey, hi, I'm Vivek Patil. I'm a banker. Any particular area that you are interested in?
Hi, I'm Vishali and I'm a marketing currently at Morgan but I love fashion. I was so many things in that and my friend here sort of recommended this thing and I'm like, okay, this will help me sort of figure out where I want to be. But I do freelance styling for my company and also designing. Hi, I'm Vishu. This is also my first time here. I have a 9-to-5 job at Deutsche Bank. I'm a financial analyst, and I'm here to do some technical on my website.
Hi, I'm Rashid. I'm a trade analyst in the startups and the kind of business model and innovation is not really moving. So just start and Hi, my name is Sunny Patel.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashwin Biswal. I have 0 years experience in completed my studies and I'm working on the concept of e-commerce based mobile application. And I'm just testing the concept right now. We're not clear what kind of it can become.
Hi, my name is Raman. I have a t-shirt and a product clothing manufacturing. We are going online by January 2015, which is
Okay, hi, I'm Umesh. I have a startup called TrueBit Sales Solutions, which is into sales outsourcing for B2B startups, or technology startups, into BFSI and HR.
Hey, my name is Hardik and I'm the founder of I Am Mr. and I'm here because of Yukti. She's the one who recommended me here. I'm from Gujarat, I'm not from Mumbai. And I'm here to just speak about my startup and what I'm doing now.
Hardik is going to be our speaker. He will be addressing us later on during the day.
Hi, I'm Jeet. I'm the co-founder of Grapevine, that's our startup.
and we are here for the lightning pitch slot for our startup. It's into the segment of youth marketing, and we have worked with various brands of Arcomiti, Pepsi, and Sprite.
Hi everyone, I'm Abhisha. I'm on the same team as Breakline. So lightning pitch, and we got met by Rahul. So thanks for inviting us.
Hi, my name is Sanjit. I'm a senior undergraduate student I'm with PayPal as well.
We have some people who walked in a little bit later and
I'm here.
people who have still not introduced themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Vinamra Tigrewala. I am 5 years I'm working in investment bank. My job is to basically raise funds for SMEs, mid caps, large caps in form of debt, equity or any structured products. I also have a very minuscule stake in one of the agri processing companies based out of Jaipur. So currently we are in the process of developing something called fruit chips, which is pretty new to India.
Hi, my name is Gurpreet here. I am working in a company called Vinod. I am a practice at Digital. And personally, I work with startups, help them out on engagement and how to have perform. It's just a parallel thing I am always connected.
My name is Ganesh. I head the finance function for a company like this. It's a software product company. And I've been in this industry for the last 20 years. I enjoy working with engineers. So that's why I'm here.
Hi, I'm Ganesh. I'm a graphic designer at
My name is Abhishek. I run a startup by the name of Exchanges Marketplace. It's a P2P decentralized exchange for trading in liquid assets.
I think we have not introduced yourself yet.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jitendra Prasad. I just started my firm called DigiNoble, which helps local retail businesses create an online business. Looking forward to networking with people from the fashion.
Hi, my name is Avinash, and I'm an investment partner at one of the VC funds of Global Bank. Two of our portfolio companies are e-commerce companies, so I'm basically here to network with the other vendors and the suppliers in the e-commerce space.
We also have some of our volunteers who have helped us organize the event today.
Hi, I'm Mohit. I'm actually working with a content writing service company, and we cater to companies across sectors such as IT, finance, among others, and we're actually trying to extend our services to fashion startups. If anybody would like to connect with me, totally welcome.
Hi, I'm Roshni. I run my own travel company. We work on customized itineraries. It's known as Go Caribou.
Yeah. I myself Pranav, and I currently work with a startup known as Meter Down. We are basically into advertising and branding of autos.
Hi, my name is Yash. I run a venture named Ghar Ke, wherein we provide recurrent maintenance services for your home, offices, and for societies.
Hi, I'm Romil Shah. I am lead volunteer at Headstart. It's been more than 3.5 years now. You can call me your startup buddy. Apart from that, I work with a startup called Actual Trend. We are into BI and CRM consulting. Been trying into. So I just have one question. How many of you are failed entrepreneurs here? So I'm one of them. So I've failed in my 2 startups. So trying to do a few more things. Maybe sooner or later I'll announce that if I succeed in that too. Hand it over to Rahul.
Hi, thanks for introducing myself. Just to tell a little bit about myself, my name is Rahul Shah. I run a small digital marketing agency that caters to the hospitality and travel industry, helping them with their marketing, with their branding and customer service setups. Now, moving on to the event, Startup Saturday. It's organized by the Headstart Network. It is a Section 25 non-profit organization that was established in 2008. And our vision is to change the world through entrepreneurship. We are a community that is being set up for entrepreneurs, which is run by volunteer entrepreneurs,
and which basically helps strengthen and foster the entrepreneurship community by helping them with these different initiatives. So Startup Saturday is India's largest monthly platform. It takes place on the second Saturday of every month, and it is organized simultaneously across 13 cities. We also have Head Start Hire, which is a platform for entry-level or early-stage startups to recruit. Another aspect of that is the co-founder search, wherein if you have an idea but you're not sure that you could develop it by yourself, or there are certain facets that you're not sure about, we have the co-founder search, wherein we actually help you connect with fellow startups and explore the possibility of partnering with somebody who will understand your vision and will be able to execute your ideas to the utmost. Other than that, we also have the Head Start Hackerspace, which is dedicated towards developing tech startups. And Head Start Insight, which is our initiative along with IBM, which helps with technology, with relation to technology and funding, obviously. And we do it through the Bluemix offering and the IBM Global Entrepreneurship Platform. Our partners for Startup Saturday are the SP Jain Institute, which helps us with the venue, and they also have an entrepreneurship program, which is Start Your Business and Grow Your Business. And along with that, we have the 10,000 Startups Initiative. 10,000 Startups is a NASSCOM initiative in partnership with Microsoft, Google, Genesign and Quota, which is basically so that was at 10,000 startups. Now they just completed 1 year, and we have a video which highlights their achievements.
One of the most interesting and exciting developments in the IT industry in recent times has been the advent of a large number of entrepreneurial, innovative companies in this space, driven by young entrepreneurs bubbling with new ideas.
The 10,000 Startups program is an early stage incubation and nurturing program that NASSCOM has put together to help foster and grow the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in India.
got the registration paper to apply for the start program. We were desperately looking for someone to help us because we didn't know anything about how to run startups, how to grow our business and things like that.
An initiative like this, partnered by people at NASSCOM as well as large enterprises like Google, Microsoft and Kotak, I think is very, very necessary so that the drive young talent in this country does a lot more than just decide to take up their next job.
We were selected for first batch of startup warehouse at Red House Startups.
We've met with a lot of mentors, potential investors, fellow entrepreneurs here. It just gives you so much energy.
We've been very fortunate that in the last several months we've been able to bring some of the best startups to the accelerator program in Bangalore.
The warehouse has been very helpful in terms of both mentorship, space, customer connect, and a lot of other such activities.
Thanks to Startup Warehouse, we have got instant start from day one.
We've been here at NASSCOM warehouse now for about 4 months. It's been a great experience for us. We got introduced to a lot of accelerators, and in fact, we joined Kaizen Accelerator as part of development startups, and it helped us also to pivot into our existing products.
Some of the startup programs that have participated in the program have been able to connect with large platform players like Intel, Google, Microsoft, some of the largest retailers in the world, Walmart, Tesco's, Targets.
A very early stage to what a startup requires is capital and connections, which is what essentially National Development has been providing us.
We got a lot of exposure into talking to a lot of investors and accelerator programs. Selection from NASSCOM is almost like revenue being funded by a fund, and it gives a lot of validation to your product concept.
The power was shifted from the investors and accelerators towards the entrepreneurs.
The program has become more well-rounded. Initially, the focus was only on getting startups and creating a database of startups, but now there has been aspiring entrepreneurs as well are part of the program.
The first area that we really wanted to change was the level of awareness, the awareness around the massive set of opportunities that existed for entrepreneurial real technology startups. I think by and large, we managed to increase the level of awareness at least by 3 to 4 times.
high quality startups, about 6 of them that actually participated to get funding within a matter of about 15 minutes to the point of decision.
The beauty of the initiative and the collaboration has been that we were able to kind of work together with NASSCOM and actually drive a lot of knowledge and also drive a lot of initiatives into the deep-hearted community, startup community that we find in the which is hitherto so unknown to the outside.
So we look forward to an excellent set of activities that will come up in the upcoming year. Lots more startups that we'll be able to impact.
Continue the momentum in terms of awareness building, in terms of entrepreneurial events, but also actually address probably 2 or 3 constraints that are already emerging.
I'd like to see a Facebook one in India, I'd like to see a LinkedIn one in India, I'd like to see a Twitter one in India, and that's why I think we need to invest in mindset changes of these young people so that they also think that they can do the next big thing right out of here in India.
A number of policy inputs based on the funding requirement on regulatory issues, on infrastructural support, and so on, which have emerged through this experience, would actually enable NASSCOM to provide policy inputs to the government and ensure that government policies are also supportive of this entire ecosystem.
Another facet that we have is a shout box, wherein as a startup, if you are looking to hire someone, you can share your requirements with us and we'll pass it on to the Head Start team and we'll connect you with the right people. Or in case if you are looking to work with a startup, please share your skills or what kind of startup you'd like to work with, and we'll connect you with the right people who will be able to understand what your requirements are, why you would like to work with that startup, and how we can mutually benefit each other. So just free to start anyone with the hashtag shoutbox, and we'll help you connect with the right people. And now we'll invite Abhisha, Jeet and Sarthak to come and share their concept of Grapevine, which is a youth marketing company.
So meanwhile they get things set up from there.
Is
I would
the
just like to
model
talk
of advertising or marketing, but into an engagement. And how we really do is by creating targeted and relevant marketing strategies. Some of our strategies in the recent past have been peer-to-peer marketing and experiential marketing. In the last 1 year, what we've been doing is we've been specializing in one segment of youth, which is the college campus. And the way we have been doing it is through a network of students across 300 colleges in 15 cities. So these students actually are there working on ground and helping us understand the youth segment better. And depending upon the insights that we get from these students who are working on ground, we design marketing strategies based on a client's needs, based on the brand's needs. In the past 1 year, we've worked with a lot of brands including MTV, Ray-Ban, Blue, Reebok, LinkedIn, MTV Indies, Hero, etc. And we have helped them reach out to their right target audience in the most meaningful manner. As I mentioned previously, we try to understand the synergy between the brands as well as the target audience. And depending upon the synergy, which fits into the picture perfectly, we design marketing strategies. So from gauging marketing insights which are relevant to the brands to come up with newer products, services, etc., we help them design college campaigns, we help them design marketing campaigns which could be taken inside the colleges, which is usually difficult task for a brand itself. The only probably a venue which brands are aware of are college festivals, but nothing more than that. We help them go beyond that. We help them identify better and newer marketing avenues inside the colleges. We help them in online marketing, we provide them access to campus, product reviews, and also feedback on the product and services. So this is one bit of youth marketing that we've explored the last 1 year, which has been the colleges. However, we intend to expand to the other segments of youth also. If you go to understand, in the last 1 year we have been a service-based model. However, presently we are also trying to introduce technology in marketing, wherein we are trying to explore products which can be used by our clients to actually kind of increase the return on investment, which can help them put in their money into the most meaningful and relevant manner to extract the maximum output or reach out to the target audience in the best possible manner. So in the last 1 year, we have done over 15 national or regional marketing campaigns with these brands mentioned. And yeah, winding it up, we would like to help all the entrepreneurs who have their target audience like in the youth to reach out to the best possible manner.
what interested you more to get into marketing?
Okay, there's a very interesting story behind it. So
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I'll ask you more questions, but you start off with that.
Sure. So some of you would be aware of Moon Industry College Festival of IIT Bombay. So the two of us have been recorded members, and that was 1 year when we spent time with various brands, and that was the time when we realized that these brands are actually looking for engaging with the crowd, but they are absolutely clueless. And at that point of time, we started working with MTV, which was our first client. We tried to explore more and more avenues and more ways which can help the brands reach out to their target audience. So that was an inception, and then as and when we moved forward, we saw potential in that thing, and yeah.
So are you targeting for helping out only startups as of right now, or you are helping bigger brands also? As you
Bigger
said,
brands. So as I mentioned, one of our major clients has been MTV. Apart from that, so apart from MTV, we have also worked with DNA, Ray-Ban, and Hero, as I mentioned. So a lot of these brands have products or campaigns which they want to reach out to their college students or to the youth in general. And they fail to, in some ways, understand what should be the right communication channel. So we help them first to understand what is their target audience, and then they find channels or medium which they can use to reach out to the college students. Adding on to that, we are not just conceptualizing the execution part of it. So we conceptualize the strategies and also help our brands to execute them.
So how do you differentiate yourself from media planning agencies?
Right. It's a very important question here. So as I mentioned, what we really believe is in understanding the synergy between the brands and the target audience. And that is how our marketing strategy become relevant. So for example, I'll give you a very recent example of a company we worked with MTV, which was about, which we worked with a project on web, which was centered on the cybercrime theme. So we try to understand what should be the right medium to convey the idea or to create an awareness about this TV series inside the conversation. So one simple thing that comes to our mind is, okay, we can put up posters, but then that doesn't create an impact, that doesn't engage the audience. So we thought one step beyond it. As I mentioned, we have Campus Ambassador Network of Students Colleges. When we started talking to them about this series, so one common insight that we gathered through them was that every college has their own computer room. And almost every student happens to visit the computer room at least once in a day. So we try to leverage this event, wherein we put up a creative inside the computer desktop, which has a meaningful information regarding cybercrime. That means we are trying to, although explore the severity, but at the same time help our students get a meaningful, a tangible, intangible benefit out of it, and also promote the cybercrime in the same manner. So this is an example of it. Similarly, we also organize a lot of events, a lot of in terms of workshops, in terms of interactive sessions with our brands for the students. So this is how we have been,
So right now, more focus of your media is college properties and
yes.
you're not talking about newspaper or radio or anything. You don't help in that.
No. Presently, that's only for the colleges.
Good initiative. Thanks a lot and good luck.
How your client knows how he gets the feedback that how effective your campaign was or what are the results of work you did?
So basically, if I try to tell you that, there are the variety of mediums that we follow to actually gauge the feedback. One simple way to do is surveys. So we float surveys in our campus ambassadors, and they also take these surveys further to their colleges, and they get responses. Accordingly, we gauge what the response to students. But as I mentioned, we are trying to make the entire process very organic. So one other way of exploring this feedback mechanism has been through conversations. So these campus ambassadors go inside the colleges, they see conversations, and in the process of the conversation, they extract the feedback, and this feedback then becomes more genuine, and it comes to us and then we implement.
So have you created some your analytical database? So you might be aware because you are getting into your media planning stuff and also we have tools like IRS, StanMedex, StanMedia and all, which are some syndicated research body wherein they give the readership surveys and your TV viewership and all. So possibly you can have a tool which is enough for you to analytics and all. I think that could be seems a nice initiative.
You said you were planning to augment your current service offering with productized model. What's the additional ROI you intend delivering to a client on top of that?
So we haven't yet figured out that exactly. We're trying to understand. Yeah. So basically, we're trying to build a marketing app which, in some ways, maps our clients' needs with the marketing amenities we have inside the colleges, and try to optimize the two things, and come up with a strategy which helps them get the maximum investment. I may not be able to quote a number here, but this is what we intend to do.
I had a question. Your target audience out here right now is college students.
Yeah.
So right now you are in college, so you have that hold in your campus, and that's how people would come up and give you interviews. What happens next year once you pass out college? college. Do you think you will be able to manage that sort of role even after you're not a part of IIT?
Sure, definitely. So, exactly, that is one thing which is bugging us a lot. So, two things here. One is that what we work, the current model that we're working in has a very huge campus ambassador network across the city, across India. So, we are going to keep this active every year. So, we work on a yearly basis in recruit more and more campus ambassadors every year. So, that energy of college students will retain with every passing year. And these every batch of campus class that passes out will help us expand into the newer youth segment that we intend to move ahead. And also,
Can I suggest something which is can go beyond this question? Can go to corporates, private hospitals. For example, a lot of corporates like me suffer from D3 deficiency. They can talk on medicines. Wine can talk with corporate females for breast cancer. So a lot of things can be engaged, lot of youth as a segment, but you can grow up through corporates, and the products can move from an MTV to a hospital or a quality brand. So that is a bit of advice.
So for your question, what we have done is we have a proper 3-tier structure of the network. Yet we have made city heads in each of the cities. And these city heads maintain the network of both the cities. And so what we have done is a new initiative. We have tied up with the college authorities officially. So we try to give some benefits for the colleges from our services, which the colleges are looking to offer for their students, which are for the welfare for the students, as well as for some promotion of their colleges. So through the college authorities and through these influencers. So the campus ambassadors are always some influencers in the college. Either they are general secretaries of the college or some PORs. So they themselves, this is a 1-year process. So at the end of year, it's a strict profiling that is done for each and every campus ambassador. And he or she nominates other people, but the juniors who are there who are eligible for this post. And it's quite a scrutinizing process in which is selected every year. So for MTV, this is the 3rd network that we have made. So we're quite sure that we'll be able to build up this process better also every year.
What are the various ways through which you get an insight for youth marketing in colleges?
Yeah.
Which has been the most effective?
So as I mentioned regarding the feedback, we almost follow the same mechanism when it comes to gauging insights also. One is, also the third method, one is the surveys, second is the conversation, and third is through data analytics. So we collect a lot of data from these campus ambassadors, and then we try to understand what are those current trends in the segment, and accordingly we fit this entire picture into the marketing that we make.
Did your model work during festive season when you were college fest or entire year?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question. I'd like to address it in 2 manners. One is when the academic period is active and when the academic period is inactive. So along with the college festivals, we also, that is one of our USPs, that we also create standalone events for our clients. So we tie up with various cultural bodies, various other bodies inside the colleges, and we try to create standalone events for our clients inside the colleges apart from the college festivals. This is one thing. And second is, we have explored this very recently. The colleges become inactive during the summers or during the break periods. So in that time, we try to understand where the students are active, and then accordingly design marketing strategies. So very recently, we have worked with Blue, which is a favorite water drink. So the entire idea of the campaign was to bring out college culture outside the colleges. And then we had done a lot of activities in that. One of them being fast food competition, which was taken to various cities across India. 4 of them, 4 metro cities.
Just one last question, and after that we'll have a first speaker address also. So please.
I have one target of which is schools and colleges. So you don't go schools as a person.
Not right now.
Okay, so when I went to college, basically I developed a lot of modules for all age groups, from FIGC to BDM to the graduation in the field of visual arts. So you also help in integrated tie-ups with the college institution for the certification course.
Correct.
Also.
Yeah, we do. So we tie up with colleges. As you mentioned, we try to understand what the colleges is lacking inside in terms of academic, in terms of extracurricular activities, and then accordingly help them with virtual camps. So yeah, definitely we can help you out with that.
Alright, thank you very much. If you all have any questions, its startup is an image consulting and style advisory. In their own words, they help create gentlemen. And our request Hardik to share his insights on how his company does that, and also give us an insight on men's fashion and image consulting as a profession.
Thanks, Rahul. First, good evening. When Yuki first came down to me and said that I want to talk about men's fashion or talk something about my startup for this event called Head Start, and I was all excited. Let's hustle between the like-minded crowds and all. And I was like, yeah, it will be fun. Then a few days later, Roshni comes down to me and says, how about you were able to talk as a speaker, it's a 40-minute speech and you'll talk about men's fashion. And I was like, no, sorry, I cannot talk about men's fashion. I was petrified. I was like, I don't know anything about men's fashion. I didn't start it, I'm still thinking about men's fashion. I started it for a very different cause. But then I read the email second time and it said I need to talk about my startup as well. So I said, alright, I'll talk about I'll talk about why I conceptualized that and how I went with that. It's been a year now that we are up, and it's currently me who's handling it most of the time. We generate revenues out of collaborations with a lot of e-commerce websites, blogging, and a lot of other stuff. So first, before starting this, let me ask the ladies here first. How many of you work in a workplace and you feel that either your husbands or your people that you work with, the men, are not dressed properly, or do you think that they are quite underestimated? They are like underdressed. Something like they are not up to the standard. When you walk in, you see that? Just 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I think you need to ask them what do they expect.
I think they have a mindset what they expect from a person. I'll come down to that later on, but yeah, that's fine. 4 is fine. That's not a big thing. And how many of you men think that even if you wear your most expensive clothes or the newest of your clothes and you still don't feel that confident, or you still fail to impress, or you just don't feel the right even after spending that much of money? None. So, yeah, let's start. I would have been happy if anyone would have raised their hand, but that's fine. I won't blame them. So if you need someone, that's fine. The point is, even if you agree or not, but I'll still blame it on our society and our culture, which has from the day we are born, we are made to think that okay, men is for working, to help the family, to go out and earn, whereas female on the other side are more for taking care of the households or beautifying themselves or keeping them intact family of their family or the image basically. And currently, when you see in the globalization, what you see is they are competing with us and they have an upper hand. You go to a corporate, well-dressed females, you go to media agencies, good females, well-dressed. And they are present level. So now they have an upper hand on this. And what we have is a stereotype image. It's a dark trouser and a light shirt is what we call formal shirt. So that's fine. And it has become quite generic now. Alright. So first thing is, how many of you feel that, how many of you are from HR or marketing or business development, even for your startups or general? And how many of you feel that the first impression is something that counts, or you don't just take care of that? What is it that matters to you when you meet someone for the first time?
You should look professional.
Alright. Other than that?
What
is the term professional mean?
So it means if you are selling something, your confidence, your knowledge should carry across, both in your demeanor and in the dress sense arena.
Your entire persona.
Yes. But you didn't raise your hand when I said you have problems with the men in your industry.
I don't.
That's
I
fine.
don't.
That's fine.
I think
so.
I disagree on that point.
Sorry?
Based on the type of assignment the person is working on. For example, if a scientist will even come in a slipper.
I'll come to that. I don't really agree that what you work for, but unless and until, let's say you are a startup or you are into marketing or business development, there is something that you have to take care of.
Yeah, for example,
a lot of people would feel the same, that you don't judge a book by its cover. You need to know your stuff well and then go up ahead. So it doesn't matter what I wear, what I don't wear. So fine. Then a lot of people come down to me and say, oh come on, let it be. Steve Jobs rocked the turtleneck, and it was. They said that, oh, look at Steve Jobs, he was what? He was rocking a turtleneck, he was an iPhone, nobody cared about him, but that's before that. This image is from a movie called The Pirates of the Silicon Valley. This image here was when he was working in his garage, long beard, long hairs, around like shabby t-shirt and shorts. This is for his first exhibition that he had made, and when he was trying to sell or search for investors for the first Macintosh. So you see the difference. He was wearing a suit. He went off his beard, and now even he had to do that. The point is that eventually this and this. So this was when iPhone became a brand. People were more concerned about the product rather than Steve Jobs. Right? So once you reach there, it doesn't matter what you wear. But yeah, you need to look presentable then as well. With that, I would also like to share a story. I was in Sydney for 2.5 years. I was working there. I studied and then I was working there. And I was working for a call center there. And I worked for 2 months, and I was then progressed to floor manager rather than taking the calls. And there was this one guy who was an Indian as well from Haryana. And he came down to me, dude, I've worked for since last 1 year and I'm still taking up calls. How come you are just, it's been 2 months and you are now on a floor manager, right? And he said that I can solve the problems as good as you can. I'm like, maybe they look at what you get. And he was shocked, and it was quite harsh on me as well when I said that. That was true. And that was over, the game was over there. 2 years down the line, I came back here. And I started working as an urban designer. So, by professionally, I'm an architect and an urban designer. I work for a company. And when I started working with this company in Ahmedabad, that is what it to me, that dressing up well, talking nicely, behaving yourself. And all those things had the same impact that I had in Sydney. That I was more comfortable with my boss, more approachable, and yes, it eventually built up a confidence in me, and the things went well. And one fine day, I thought, what was so common about it? What was there in Sydney and what was there in India? Both are different countries, different cultures. And what was one thing that came up to me is that everybody wants, or everybody is good when they are around well-dressed men, well-behaved. When I say well-behaved, there's a lot of things to it, but I'll keep it short. So I said, all right, let's think of it. And then as an urban designer, you deal a lot of time with demographics and populations and a lot of data. And I came across that there are a lot of people, there are at least 70% who are still employed, who are working class. And not all can afford the GP. GP is nice, I love them, I like the stuff there, but it's quite illustrative, and it gives, for me it is like a book that gives me an inspiration to cater to a lower class or lower mass. And then I said, let's do something about it. And I started Googling stuff, what can I do, how can I help this man, or how can I do something about it. And I came across this very fine, amazing person called Aaron Marino in San Francisco. He's a consultant and a stylist as well, just for men. And I started having talks with him. And he was quite supportive, and he said, I first wanted to collaborate with him and open his own franchisee here in India, and he was like, no, don't do that. Rather than that, start something of your own. I'm like, okay. So this was something that I thought of, and I said, let's do it. I hired first the problems about a startup. The first IT person that I hired to design my website took 16,000 bucks and gave me nothing except commitments, and he didn't cater to that. 2 months later, I hired someone else for 28,000. He did the same mess, and I was just too annoyed because I wanted to launch it on my birthday. And I couldn't do that, and I was hurt. And a month later, I said, let me do it myself. So that's what startup is about. You don't just waste money, you save it and put it in the right place. And Squarespace. How many of you have heard about Squarespace? 4, 5. Good. Squarespace was something that I came across, and amazing stuff. Helped me from scratch to get up everything. Content was all written by me as well. I didn't hire a content writer, and now I had no money to spend. And I had lost trust in everyone actually. And I started it, and eventually it went quite slow for at least 3 months. I started in August, September, October, November. It was quite slow, nothing was happening. All I was doing was updating the content and blogging about stuff I liked. And then came time, and it was a wedding season, and this friend of mine comes to me and says, dude, how would I be your first client? It's my marriage, I'm marrying one of my childhood love. Let's do it. And I don't trust her. And I don't want her to select my clothes. I'm like, why? I said, I don't want to wear those bling blings and jazzy clothes, you know. I want to be a bit normal. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll try what I can do. And it was quite exciting. I know this guy from since last 10 years now, and I was like, okay, I'll help you out. And he had a very strict budget. He was not ready to spend. He wanted to spend on the honeymoon. So he was like, oh, I'll be alright with whatever I wear, but I want something nice. And I'm like, okay. So I ran around in the market and I searched for a few clothes, patterns, designs. I couldn't come. In Gujarat, you don't find too much of fashion, you know, that you find in Mumbai. Walk around in Mumbai and you find a lot of good stuff around. See, not is the case with Gujarat. And I did move around places and I said, okay, I'll come up with something like this. This is a friend of mine. And he wanted it very casual for his Sangeet night. He didn't want it Bangala because it's quite traditional. And a lot of people were wearing that, even their friends. So he didn't want it to mix the crowd. And this was something that I came across very simple. I went down, searched clothes, fabrics, designs. And yes, so this is Sumit, one of my very good friends. And that's what we do. After that, it was it. Now again, after December, things went quite slow. And I thought, what next? And then there were a lot of friends of mine and colleagues who used to text me or WhatsApp me and send me links via emails of stuff they want to buy, stuff they are looking for. Like, hi Ardik, I'm planning to buy something. I'm planning to buy an Oxford. Where can I buy them? How much would it cost? And things like that. And I was like, okay, this is something interesting. And most of the time, whatever I used to tell them, they were quite convinced. And I was like, okay, this is something to think about. And I Googled stuff, again, what do you call someone who can shop for you? I mean, I didn't know what it was called back then. So they said it was personal shopper. And what does he do? The things that I do now. So I said, okay, let's add one more thing to it. And it was, personal shopper was again into the list of my services. And it was running well, fine. Like every startup, I was using the SEO and the SMMs to come on the first page of Google. Squarespace helped me a lot of other entrepreneurs as well to help me. And still I was not getting the amount of rush that I should get, the amount of people that I should log in to look at the services. And there were a few friends who were into the startup who were like, how about you try segmenting your crowd? And I said, I already segmented it. I'm not catering the females, I'm catering the males. Yeah? So that's a huge segmentation. They asked me to reduce it further to age group and all, and I said no. I cannot do that. I want to cater to all kinds of people. Went from, let's say, 18 to 80, that's fine. And one fine day, there's this guy from Chennai who texts me saying that, give me a specific time, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. So he was in Chennai and it was quite tough and expensive as well because I charged for the travel as well. So he was like, it's quite expensive. I'm a startup company and I'm looking for this kind of services. How can you help me in that? So what I did was, this is something that I came across. I started with an online thing. You don't do anything much. What you do is, this is my plan. What you do is, you send me an image, a full-length image and a passport size image of yours. You send me a wad of photos, what you wear on a daily basis. And then I analyze it and give you the services. What I give him right now is that I saw this, I suggested something to him, and then now I'll be shopping for him from Ahmedabad. I'll be contacting the people in Chennai, the malls and the brands, and I'll ask them to arrange for that. So that is something that I provide. This was one of the interesting clients, and one last Monday I got a really amazing client, and that's I'm quite happy that I didn't fragment it further into age group or any other criteria to bifurcate the men. There's this guy CA, he's a chartered accountant from Mumbai, who is polio struck, and he said, I want you services. It was again one of a moment where I thought, I cannot do this. You know, is polio struck. How can one style someone who walks on crutches, and what would you do about it? And then he comes to me that the one thing that he needed was he wanted the confidence. So So we are not just into men's fashion. Fashion is quite a big term to use. I will not talk about fashion. I'm not talking about fashion. What we talk about is men, us men, and the problems that we face on a general basis. So this guy comes up to me and says, I want your services. I'm like, okay, send me a photograph. And he WhatsApp me his photographs. I won't show you that. And it's like a challenge. It's like a challenge that I have not done since last 1 year. And I said, okay, I accept it. And I said, do you have a budget? He said, no. But I can't spend more. I'm like, that's fine. And currently I'm working, and trust me, it is one of the biggest challenges as an image consultant or a main stylist would face, helping someone. I can start say, I'm still to earn money or to make a brand out of it or something like that. I wanted to help. That was the basic concept about it. And men, especially the men. Because once they improve, there are a lot of chances of improving the society as well. The future of I'm Mr. What I look right now, I want to put it into an education sector and the employment sector. That's how I look about it. Now, talking everything about that, the personal shopping part, how it helps me, or how it helps my clients basically is, first thing is I save their time. For example, he comes down to me and says that he has a budget of 10,000 and he wants to buy something. He gives me a list, and I look at his photograph, I take his measurements and everything, and then I go out in the market and I hunt for him. So if he's in Gujarat or if he's in my reach, I'll take him along the next time and I'll save him from the previous year's things, right? Who push you to buy something which you don't really want. It's a commission based. And the other thing is why someone who trusts me is because it's a man-on-man talk. We men are egocentric and shy, both at the same time. You wouldn't go to a female asking for help because you are egocentric, or you wouldn't trust. And we are shy to talk to men because we think he might take me as a feminine. Who talks about grooming? Men on men talks. Men on men talks more about beards and things. So that's one. So I said, okay, that's something that I can do, and I'll give you a rough idea. I'll show you a video what exactly and how exactly I do the consultation.
Jacob Cal, we buy a drink, Cal. Thanks, already have a drink. Hey, Cal, sit down. I'll make you buy a drink. It's okay. Now, sit down. All right. Look, I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. And you need to hear the truth. Okay? Cal, just keep it strong in your mouth. Please. Just for this conversation. You know what that looks like? It looks like you suck on a tiny font. Is that what you want? What? Is that the message you want to send everybody? You don't want to thinking that. Really? So, permission to speak candidly, sir. I think you've already gone there. You're sitting there with a super cut haircut. You get drunk on watered down vodka cranberries like a 14-year-old girl. And you're wearing 44 when you should be wearing 42 regular. Honestly, I don't know if I should help you or I should euthanize you. You got a kind face. You got a good head of hair. You seem like a nice guy. I want to help you. I'm going to help you rediscover your manhood. Why are you doing this? Maybe you remind me of something. Being a man.
So yes, what do you think was convincing about the whole talk? Ryan Gosling? No. That's fine, Ryan Gosling was a part, but not Ryan Gosling. The point was the emotions that he showed to talk to the other guy. He didn't know him. He was just a bar friend who used to see him quite often at the bar. But the talk was straight from the heart. You talk from the heart to try to make him understand that what he's doing is wrong, where he's wrong, or what needs to be changed. And that's what he said from the heart, and that's the reason he could understand. And the thing was, he didn't talk it in terms of business. He talked it in terms of a man-to-man talk, where you trust, build up a trust first, and then you approach to a business level or turning into a client. So that was about it. And that's exactly what we do. What we feel is talking to someone is how you can reach to one's soul, and that is the prime objective of our consultation. We just don't, if a client comes down to us and we just don't say that, yes, we have this, we have that, we have this, we provide this and we'll help you this. No, sorry, we don't do that. The first thing we ask is how you want to do it and why you want to do it and what's the budget. I can't just go along and give him a budget of 50,000 when he cannot afford it. It's fine. So I don't do that. What we do is I ask him about his story. A lot of people have a relationship issue. A lot of people have an ego issue. A lot of people have their office issues or the family issue. First is that, because that gives me a clear picture of why someone would want it and what's the purpose. So that's one-on-one talk that we do, and that helps us. And coming to the end, but then still, a lot of people would still have that problem to understand what exactly we do in terms of personal shopping or as an image consultant, how we help someone and what we do. I'll again show you a small video which will talk about, which exactly talks about what we do. And again, that's the Ryan Gosling, so sorry ladies, it's fine.
You late?
Yeah, sorry.
Sopranos?
No, thanks.
Let me ask you a question, Cal. How much money you got today for clothes? What happened to your feet?
What do you mean? These are my 407s.
Oh, they're 407s. Can I see them?
Yep. He's offered a lot of support.
Right.
Well, come on!
What are you in a fraternity?
Are you
Are
insane?
you in a fraternity?
You could have hit somebody. What was that?
I'm asking you a question. You in a fraternity?
No.
Are you Steve Jobs?
What?
Are you the billionaire owner of Apple Computers?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, you got no right to wear New Balance sneakers ever. Okay, all right. One of the best parts about being a guy your age, and frankly, there aren't many, so really take advantage of it, and then you can rebuild your entire wardrobe in 16 inches. That's hard. See, the problem is your head is like the proportions of like a styrofoam peanut. Skin under your eyes is starting to look like you have small things. It does. What do you want?
I think I'm set for jeans.
No, you're not such a cheap girl.
These are fine.
They're not fine. We have a mama. Is that what you want? We just go to the Gap.
You know what? Think of this. What are you doing?
Cal, you're better than the Gap. You're better than the Gap. Say it. I'm better than the Gap. Come on.
Stop slacking. Really?
Dude. Like slaps in the face.
I don't do that.
No, man, I did it. I do.
Do you?
I don't think.
Seriously? Seriously? You want to like that?
Yeah.
And that worked?
Yeah.
Kind of stupid, but...
Wow, look at you.
feel like I'm going skiing.
Did you say that?
Jesus, God.
Yeah, probably.
What? You would? What are you even saying?
You see what you said up the cap? As soon as you opened your mouth, Tiffany started doubting whether she wanted to sleep with you or not.
That's probably the meanest thing anyone's ever said.
No, this is. Your wife cheated on you because you lost sight of who you are as a man, as a husband, and probably as a lover.
So yeah, that's exactly what we do and what we try to achieve. Exactly. And that's basically part of services that we provide. Other than that, what I do is I tie up with startups like one with Jyoti, that's Train, that works for winter clothing. I tie up with companies like e-commerce website like Eastain, that's in US, it's a US-based Amazon chain, and I write stuff for them. And from there I recommend stuff to people. Now, a lot of people would come down to you and tell you why you need to, as you said, that why you need to dress well. The prime point is not about impressing someone. It's not about you have to go to workplace just because you want to rise up that corporate ladder. No, that's not the only point. Why you would want to do that, why you would want to wear something like that, or be presentable. The main point behind that is this is something that I believe. We believe that Mr. is just not the title to your name. It expresses beyond that. It talks about your self-respect and probably the fortunes that you have busted till now to achieve to a standard, for the education or for whatever sacrifices that you have made on your social background as well. So it's just to take some pride out of there. Dress up early in the morning, go to a workplace, be confident about it, and just not be a kind of worker who would just do bare minimum. Just put on a black trouser and a striped shirt or light shirt and that's the formal for you. No, don't do that. Go beyond that. Try with colors that suits you. Try with fits that suits you. That's the prime and most important thing that I talk to every man across. That it's not always about a brand. I don't endorse any high-end brands like or designers for let's say Marc Jacobs or Tom Ford, anyone like that. No, I don't, because that's not the crowd I'm catering to. I'm catering to a generic crowd of someone like me, who's an employee who works. And what I tell them is to take care about the fit and the fabric. That's the main part. Because a lot of time what we do is we go to a place, we go to a mall and we just buy stuff that's on a mannequin or just the salesman tells us and we buy it up. And it's trending. Don't go beyond the trends. Don't go behind the trends. Go beyond that. Go for something that suits you, that takes you a step further, that makes you confident. And today what I would want you guys to do is, the men, go home. I'm sure everyone would have one outfit or one part of an outfit that has made you feel confident, that has become a lucky charm or a lucky shirt or a lucky trouser or tie. I'm very much sure everyone would be having one. I have one. And it's not about, just go back home and just try it up and say, and just analyze, was it all about luck? It was more than that. And if you can just share it with us on Facebook, Twitter. Just let us know. We would love to answer that, what exactly it's about. And just do it. Yeah, that's all I would want to say. That just do it. I had a blazer with me to, it's my first presentation, so I had to thought let's wear a blazer and it's too hot. So that's also one thing that one should take care of. You don't need to look like a fool because it's too hot down here and I cannot wear a blazer. Any kind of blazer, to be honest, in Mumbai right now. Not even, I would have worn a linen, I would have been happy with that. So that's keeping it casual. Just go home, do that. And I would love if anyone would follow us or just send us an email that what was something about that outfit of yours, and we would love to share the stories. Yeah. And one final tap. This comes from one of the TED talks that I have seen, and I love those talks. How many of you are into this business because of the internet? How many of you are famous or you have business that deals with the internet, and if internet wouldn't be here today, none of us would have been here today? How many of you are like that? That you wouldn't achieve anything without internet. That's it. I heard a lot of startups around. No, but now it's okay. Fine, that's fine. Nobody would need it. But now it has become a very necessity. You need anything without not having a Facebook page, not having a Twitter account is called unauthentic. It's not a brand. It's not legitimate. So just for the sake of it, let's do this. Raise your hand up. And just say thanks a lot, internet. That's all I would want you guys to do because that's the reason that I'm here today, and I met Jyoti for that. And I'm happy about it. So just let's do it, even if you are into that or not into that. Just raise your hand. Yeah. Thank you, internet. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions for Hardik, please.
So, fairly intriguing, actually, as a profession you've undertaken. I would like to know what's the typical number of clients that you deal with, perhaps in a month or.
See, as I said, I currently also work as an urban designer, and someone from the audience right now said that I am into 9 to 5, and I want to know what startup is all about. And now I put up a lot of things. If you don't have anything, if you have a lot of money, you have funding, you have experts, cool, then go ahead. But don't ruin them as well. Know your facts, know your figures, and then go and do something before quitting your 9 to 5.
So I have a question. You said, that this was something that came from your heart and you wanted to help people, you said
Yeah.
And so something that you created to help people, you're not looking to build a brand, but what you're actually doing is that you're helping people create their own brands, right? You're instilling self-confidence into people, right? So tell me something. This is something I think that, it's a very phenomenal idea, and I think, it has a lot of merit to it. And let's say 10 people out of this room come to you. So how do you plan to sustain it? So right now you're doing one client per month. But let's say it does gain traction. How do you plan to sustain it?
Yes, I'm based in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, yeah. So there it's not much of an issue if I have clients from Ahmedabad, I can do that. Yeah. If I'm in Mumbai, I have one representative in Mumbai who works for me, right? She is an image consultant as well. She studied course and all that. So she is one who handles that. If I get number of clients from Mumbai, she's the way, but she doesn't do anything. That's something that she's just into this.
Okay.
So if I get crowd from Mumbai, she'll be the one. Now, as I said on the earlier section as well, that if I have an online client or if I have someone like say the client in Chennai, how do I help them? Well, if you're ready to pay me, I'm fine. I'll drop by to your place and just help you out there. If you're not ready to pay me, the other services, the online one, which you send me the photographs of your wardrobe, then set photographs of yourself, and then we'll take it. And usually I don't say, this is not something, how would I put it? It's not like an injection, that you just put it and you're fine to go. It takes a process. For example, there was this one client who didn't become lucrative or who didn't become a prospective client, but we had a conversation for 3 months. Sorry. He was an MP from Janata Dal, Kerala, right? And he wanted some services like this. And I sent him a workshop which was a 15 days regression training workshop. And with the quotations and everything. But it didn't materialize. Now, I had the opportunity to work there, but it also depends upon the mindset. You say that 10 people would come, but it's not that easy. It's not. No, that's fine, I understand. But what the main purpose of this, what I'm doing right now, I take it as an awareness. And I'm sure I don't even expect that 10 people to come down from here and be my clients. No. Because first, what you need is you need to be aware about the mindset that you have. You need to change that. Because a lot of us men I'm fine the way I am. I don't need to change. Who looks at me? Everybody has that mindset. Every man has that mindset. Even I had one. Oh, I'm fine. But no, you need to change that. And it's a process. I can handle that, what you said. But it will take time. And I hope I get 10 clients from it. Thank you. Yep.
Do you have any demos you change this person to like this?
Yes, I don't have an exact demo or something like that because I haven't photographed. I haven't had one-on-one client. Those which I have had are my friends whom I don't photograph. I don't put them as my clients. There's one because I just wanted to show you. But yeah, a lot of people come to me about this question. And not everyone is comfortable about before and after change. It's not like something you want to do.
Okay, can you just try trying your talent on me? What should I change or what? It's just a simple demo.
So what do you want to become? Shah Rukh Khan or? No, that's the point. That's again a point. Why do we idealize people like that?
I just want to be me.
Okay.
But I just want to dress up well. If he feels like I'm not doing that.
As I said, the first part analyze is why you want to do that. Yeah.
So this is how you do. It's like you ask these questions.
Yes, exactly. I just don't bang into you and okay, I'll help you out. No, that doesn't work that way. The first thing I ask you why you want it. Okay. What's your budget? And what exactly are you looking for? There's this one client I had who just wanted an immediate service just because he was joining a company. He was a fresh graduate. And he emailed me at 1:30 a.m. And I was at a cafe at that time and I was reading the email and I immediately responded him at the same particular time. He was online. That was something that I wanted to buy. Honest, just a time frame of 15 minutes, I could convince him, I could sell him, and he was amazed by that. Then it's on him if he follows and sends me a photograph. None of them do that. But they send as a testimonial instead. So that's how it works. And to be honest, it's not a one-day process to change that. It takes time, patience, and a mindset.
How do you develop your mindset?
Man-on-man talk. You know. For example, let's say you had break up with your girlfriend, and now you want to completely sorry for that.
I have a question.
No,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope it doesn't sound offensive, but I work for international fashion brands.
I heard that. Exactly, I know
No,
what you know about.
so the question is like you're wearing a blue on blue.
Yeah.
So probably wouldn't be a little better, like you style people.
Yes.
So when I follow the European fashion trends or something, it should never be a tone on tone.
Yes.
It should probably be a contrast
Yes.
or probably something to
Yes.
highlight it, or probably, you know, 99% of the time an individual would go on
Before
that.
wearing this shirt, I had a pink shirt on.
Pink shirt.
I had a pink cambria on myself. Oxford, sorry. And I said, no. There's no more wearing. I didn't want
Wouldn't
I
it
didn't
depend
want-
upon the person?
Sorry, I'll just come down. Yes, exactly. It depends on person to person. Now, if you were my client, I wouldn't tell you to wear this. Okay?
I wouldn't wear.
You wouldn't wear this. Fine, you wouldn't wear this. Fine. But I wouldn't tell you that. That's me. Right? And if you come down to me and say that, because you'll be sending me a photograph, you'll be sending me where you work. I'm here for a speech. Right? I don't dress like this when I go to work. And that's the main point. Why do you want it? You want it for your work culture or your personal behavior, or personal change basically. And then I can answer you. I'm wearing blue and blue. I had this question in my mind that someone might come up to me and say that. Why I'm wearing blue and blue? I'll be honest on that answer. Because 3 days back, I had this concept of trying something wherein I want to create my own wardrobe, wherein I have a grey trouser, grey shirt, and a navy blue blazer. I have a beige trouser, beige shirt, and a green blazer. You know, I want to try that. I want to try that. I will not force you for that. That's the reason I'm wearing. I have a blazer with me there, right? But I didn't want to wear it. So this is a part of an experiment, and I just wanted to know how people perceive that. Thanks for that comment. I really appreciate. But that's something of my personal choice that I'm doing. Okay, if it doesn't look good, I got an idea. Okay, yeah, you're right. And I haven't seen this anywhere, so I'm doing it.
Why don't you stylize it?
Probably the pants need to be one, you know, as Ryan Gosling mentioned, you instead of 44 wear a 42, you need to wear like a pant one size tighter, I guess.
Yes.
That's a very good observation.
I think I have a question. Yes.
Just as an observation, because you showed us the video.
Because since you are getting into service industry and all, if you can touch upon that, how do you go about pricing your service? Because if people like us would like to get into service and consulting or probably consulting,
am I right?
the question is, before going there, I want to answer that. I'm going to make a call right now. I had before coming here, I'm staying at my friend's place. I'm from Gujarat, and she said, just don't wear this. You know?
The pant?
Both, everything, the whole. And they were like, don't wear this. You get a lot of negative comments. Alright, I said it's fine. If I get comments on this, except I want to see that you have a sense. You know, if man has sense that we can understand this, that this is not right, this is not wrong. Then why are we not doing it? You could understand me, right?
Because you showed us a Ryan Gosling video.
Yes, but because you just focused on Ryan Gosling, we didn't focus on the services. I said don't focus on Ryan Gosling, focus on the services that he
No, it's a pro-rata comment.
Right, sorry. Can we take it offline?
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
The pricing part is
I'm Masoom Meenawala. I'm a fashion blogger and my blog is called StyleFiestaDiaries.com. I also have an e-commerce portal and we basically focus on fashion, jewelry and accessories, which is called StyleFiesta.com. And I also have a non-profit jobs portal, which is fashion-based, which is called FashionJobsIndia.com. So before I begin to talk to you all about the startup space and the problems and challenges that I faced while starting up, I'd like to kind of give you all a glimpse of my current position. So fashion blogging and Fashion Jobs India both are completely fashion-based ventures. Like I said, they're non-profit, so it's just something that I'm doing for the fashion industry. But StyleFiesta.com, which is the e-commerce portal, is the core revenue churner. And so we get a lot of online orders, but we also have a strong online presence in terms of we have over 80, 85 press coverages in newspapers and magazines all over India. And we supply to over 25 online portals, which is a big sales driver. So when I was talking to Rahul, he said that I should talk about the challenges that I faced while starting up, especially because I started out young. So my experience was lacking. So I'd say I face a lot more problems than an entrepreneur who is coming from having 5 years of experience at a job or at an MNC. I was fresh out of college and I basically had an idea that I wanted to take forward. So my challenges were a lot more amplified in terms of no experience, no guidance, but I think that's actually built my venture into what it is today because I learned the hard way, but all in all it was a lot of fun. So, so to begin with, is how I started off with e-commerce is I was doing an internship with French Connection and Calvin Klein, and my research project was on fashion bloggers, and that was the first time I came across fashion blogs, and I found the concept to be extremely exciting to kind of put your opinions and your ideas on a platform where anywhere in the world could read it. And that was extremely fascinating, and so as soon as my internship got over, I very impulsively started blogging. I used to use a tripod to take pictures of myself, or I would bribe my mom or my aunt to take pictures of myself, of my outfits, of how I would style myself, and then I post it on my blog. This was at a time where fashion blogging was completely irrelevant in India. Like it had absolutely no presence. So, but before I knew it, I was getting a lot of hits, a lot of comments, and some amazing feedback. And it was so nice to kind of see your work being appreciated over the internet by people who I did not know at all. So it was the traffic was coming in through social media websites that I was using without any. This was all without any sort of business or strategy planning or anything at all. It was a hobby, and so I was blogging very religiously for a year, and I realized that I loved the internet. Like whatever I wanted to do, my career would have to be something in the online space because I loved being on the laptop. I loved surfing the internet, and it was just something that I found that okay, this is something that I could do for the rest of my life. And but I did want to take it to the next phase, to the next step. I did not want to just blog and have it as a content-based or text-based system. So I was traveling with my family, and I saw that. I realized I was abroad in London, and I realized that there was amazing fashion internationally at a very affordable price, which was not there in India. So there was great fashion in India, but it was a lot more expensive as compared to the price that I would get the same thing at abroad. And that's when I thought that I really want to bring in trendy, affordable fashion to India. And it was just a fragment of my thoughts, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to take this forward. But so what I did is I set up a blog shop. Like I told you, I was blogging simultaneously. This is when I was 18 and I was still studying at college. And I was blogging simultaneously, and I set up a blog shop. And I handpicked some stuff from vintage markets and street markets in London and New York, and I brought some stuff back from my travels, and I just set up like a test run. So there were just 25 products that I put up on my blog shop, and in 24 hours, everything was sold out. And this was at a time where Flipkart was only selling books. Flipkart had just probably started its incorporation. So it was so amazing to know that somebody off the internet was ready to trust me. Because it was a blog shop, they had to make a bank transfer first, and then the products will deliver like that. What is the reason that I'm going to invest money in you? So I said, okay, I said, you should probably give me some time, and I want to work on it, and things like that. So I think challenge number one that I faced while starting up was convincing my father, who was my first investor, that my idea was worth going ahead with. So I think that was my first little brief. That was my first stint with investors, and it was a hard one because he completely disagreed. He pointed out faults. There was tons and tons of criticism that was coming my way, and he said, you have no formal education in fashion because I'd only done a business degree from HR. I was still doing it. So he said, why don't you go study fashion? Why don't you get a formal degree? And then we can talk about it and we can discuss how we should take things forward. And that's when I went to do 8 diploma courses for in a period of over 4 months. And I came back and I started working full-fledged on my e-commerce website. So when I started off, my base was always that I wanted to give trendy and affordable fashion. So pieces that were extremely stylish, but that would not break anyone's bank and that would not create a hole in anyone's pocket. So say something in the price range of that is much lesser than Zara. But so I had an idea, but I didn't have my product in place. So once I had my idea ready, which I'm sure most of you guys over here might have, I kind of took a risk to figure things out along the way, which is very important because if you're going to do everything beforehand before starting out, then you might just get stuck. You might just not be able to reach stage number 2 because you find so many problems. I mean, we all know starting off is like literally like jumping off the cliff and you don't know what's going to be at the bottom. Like it's probably going to be, you're probably going to die, or there's probably going to be like a trampoline and you'll be up again. But I think that's a risk that's very important to take for any startup. So that's what I did. I had an idea. I knew I wanted to sell online only because I didn't want to create a brand that retails out of a store, because what is the point of me targeting one vicinity of one city? Today, if I open a store at Breach Candy, I'm targeting South Bombay, inside Maharashtra, inside India. When with an e-commerce venture, you're targeting the entire country and you don't even need to stop there. You always have worldwide shipping. So why would I want to limit my business on purpose? That was the only reason that I loved the online space, because of its reach. Its reach was absolutely limitless. And so I started off. So the first thing that, of course, came into focus was my products and my website. So with my website, I faced tons and tons and tons of problems. So I don't know if there are a lot of guys over here in the tech industry, but I think that is something that's it's very hard to find developers that you can trust and that can give you a price that's viable. And so that is the problem number 1 that I faced. When I started working on my website, I had to literally change over 4 developers because one started with Magento, and halfway through he said, I don't know how to go ahead with Magento. So now I'm at a point of stage, so this is back in 2012. So now in 2014 I'm at a point of stage where I've kind of learned a little bit of coding myself, because if you want to be in e-commerce, and that's something you just have to do. Like if you don't know how it's going to be done, if there's a problem, how are you going to correct it? So I've learned a little bit of very, very basic coding, and now I've hosted my website on Shopify. I don't know if anyone here is interested in e-commerce, that's something that I really highly recommend, especially in the beginning first couple of years of your e-commerce venture, because it's easy, it's manageable, and it requires a lot of hassle but gives you a lot of features. So that's a challenge that I was facing since a couple of years, but I found a solution to it, which is Shopify, at least for a good 1 year or more, for me at least. And so the second thing, of course, was when I was going to set up an e-commerce website, what was I going to offer to my audience that everyone else wasn't offering? So when I had this idea, back in 2011. Like I said, when I set up the blog shop and everything, it was a time where Flipkart was still in incorporation stage. But by the time I came back, after doing my diploma courses and everything, e-commerce was booming in India. And it's still not booming, but it had, the rat race had begun. And I said, okay, so there's so much competition right now. So what was I going to offer to my audience or to my customers that would make them buy from me and not make them buy from someone else? So I think this is not something that's e-commerce focused. I think it's in any industry, any startup or any business. Is that what are you offering to your customers that they should come to you and not go to your competitors? I think this is your number one big and all question. And that's where my blogging kind of came in again, which is I realized that what was the reason number one that my customers bought from me, that my blog shop sold out, was because they liked the fact that there was a face behind the brand, that there was somebody who was kind of handpicking the items for them, who was giving them style advice along the way as to how you should wear this, what you should wear it with, as compared to a brand which is kind of faceless. And secondly, I mean, don't we always look at a brand you look at a brand as an entity, as somebody that could be associated with a celebrity, but you know the celebrity doesn't actually have anything to do with it. So that's not the kind of face that I'm talking about when I say a face behind a company. So now when anyone comes to Style Fiesta, they know that Style Fiesta is very associated with Masoom Meenawala, which was the biggest sales puller for me and my company. So I think that was my competitive advantage, that people liked that, okay, there's this person, there's this girl who is actually interested in making me look better, who wants to bring fashion to me at an affordable price. So that's the reason I'm going to her website, because along with buying a product, she's telling me how I should wear that product. And there's a lot of, because I am my target audience, which is not something that is present in a lot of companies. And I mean, fair, it won't be, that's not practical. But in my case, I got lucky because I am my target audience. So I know the way I think. I know that for me, a 21-year-old girl living in Bombay, exposed to everything in life, I know that when I go to a website, I want to see pretty things, colorful things that appeal to me. I need a website that's very Pinterest, that's very Tumblr, and that's what I've built for my customers. If the internet is working. So right now we focus on fashion, accessories and jewelry. So we have necklaces, earrings, bracelets, rings. In more accessories we have watches, belts, anklets, hair accessories, phone accessories, sunglasses. That's my blog, and yeah. So this is what the website kind of looks like. So we have this live Instagram feed, because I know my target audience's favorite social media platform right now is Instagram. So that's where I need to target them. But if we go to new necklaces, so this is the whole layout of the website and how it looks. And just to give you all a quick background. And so like I was telling y'all, when I started off, in fact, sales were a huge problem. So when we launched this website in December 2012, and it looked very different at that point of time. So when I started the website, sales, my whole model was to convert my readers into customers. So I was a blogger. I was getting thousands and thousands of hits every day on my blog. My basic model was convert my readers into customers. It was simple, but when I launched, it didn't happen. I don't know what went wrong, but my readers did not get converted into customers, because working on a startup, e-commerce, at the end of the day, as a tech startup, is extremely time consuming. So what happened is that my blogging automatically trickled down, because I didn't have enough time to blog. But But I didn't realize that that was the biggest mistake that I was making, was because my blog was the core of my business. So that was not something that I should allow to slip. And I was having problems with converting I was having problems with getting as many sales as I thought I would. I was not meeting my targets. I had a lot of dead stock. So I was basically at a dead end. I didn't know what to do. I kept a launch party, everything was great, everyone loved everything, but nobody was buying anything. So, number one, when I started off with clothes. As you can see now, we only do fashion accessories and jewelry. My pricing was completely different. So now, 2 years down the line, we've changed our entire product line, we've changed our entire pricing, and we've changed our entire strategy. So what I started off with is completely different from what I have in my hand today. And I think that's a lot to do with a startup ecosystem. You have to adapt along the way. Like at that time, if I was going to be rigid and say, no, clothes is what I want to do, frankly, my passion still lies in clothes. If you ask me, that is where I am going to be 5 years from now, but not right now. That is where I'm going to be 5 years from now. So if I had been rigid and said, no, I have to do clothes, or no, this price point has to work, I should just change my target audience, maybe I should target a slightly older audience or a slightly upper class audience. But that was not going to work. I had to adapt, and I had to kind of change the way things work to get the most out of what was working. So, like I said, there was clothing, and there was bags, and there was accessories. And I immediately saw that my footfall on accessories was maximum. So people, if they want to buy online in India, they want to buy cheap stuff. They don't want to buy expensive stuff. That is something that they want to see in their hand and then buy. I mean, for sure it works in America, it works in the UK, but not yet in India. And I cannot be running a business model that is going to be tapped in India 10 years down the line. That would be impractical. So I knew I'd take a different approach. So I did a couple of things. I realized that my audience wanted to kind of test my products before buying them. So if they were going to be returning customers who would keep coming back to my website to make 10 sales, their first sale needed to be in person. They needed to touch and feel the product. So what was I going to do for that? To kind of make them trust the business on a much larger scale now that I was not a blogger. One thing that I did is, being a blogger, I understand the importance of influencers in an industry. I think that they're the most important thing that can make or break your business. So what I did is I sent out samples to all the influencers in the fashion industry. So in terms of bloggers, journalists, in this case magazine editors, personalities, even fashion entrepreneurs for that matter of fact. Because I knew that these people had a pull over the fashion society. So if they were wearing something, they would always tell the people around them. Now because they were influencers, if just say a generic person had 10 people around him, an influencer would automatically have 50 people around him that he would kind of encourage the product to, and that worked very well because your strengths could be completely different, but it's your strengths that you need to use to kind of make your business run faster. So I realized that my strength was that I'm a blogger. Okay, so I have fantastic relations with all other bloggers. Now all other bloggers have a reach of more than 5,000 people on all the social media platforms combined. That means if I send them 5 products, they're sure to wear at least 3 of them and post them somewhere or the other on all of their platforms. That means how many eyeballs am I getting per blogger? It was a fantastic turnaround, so that's something that I used. Secondly, I held a preview trunk show for all my contacts and friends and family. Like I said, my customers need to test my product. So how was I going to make them? How was I going to make them test it? I invited them over and I said, so we sent our emailers to all our newsletter sign-ups, and we said, come over, touch, feel, try our product. We've got exciting things happening at the event, and so that worked out very well for me. And slowly, like adapting to the business, we, like I said, changed our product line. We're into a very mass price model right now. So our products start from 399 rupees and go up to a maximum of 1200, 1300 rupees, nothing above that. And an average would be about 600 to 800 rupees would be an average product price. So that is the model that we're currently working on, and we've seen massive growth since last year. We've seen a 50% turnaround profit, and it's been pretty great now. We're also selling on a lot of other e-commerce portals, which is a whole other business which is doing really, really well for us in terms of sales. So I'm talking about Flipkart, Myntra, Jabong, Snapdeal, Home Shop 18, and like 10 other more niche websites. But that's really helped in branding and marketing because they always write the brand of the product before the product name. So now imagine the kind of visits and the traffic that a website like Jabong is getting. So even if a customer is not buying my product from Jabong, as long as his eyes are falling on the word Style Fiesta, that's just one more person who knows about Style Fiesta. And right now all I need is some sort of, just brand awareness. I need to reach out to the masses, and I think this was my best medium to do so. So that's the reason we went ahead. Are either studying or working part-time or freelancing, for that matter of fact, not working full-time. So we launched this fashion reseller program, which is how we portray it is that it's an initiative for aspiring entrepreneurs. So many of you here, for aspiring entrepreneurs to kind of get an insight into how business works, into how the whole sales works, marketing works. So what you do is that you sell, it's basically an affiliate program but offline. So you sell Style Fiesta products. So say you, for example, you use our online catalog, which is already online, and you sell Style Fiesta products to all your friends, all your family friends, and all your social networks. With every sale that you make, you get a 35% commission. And the response was fantastic. An online affiliate program promises you 5% commission. And that also is online, which if you have a blog, if you have a website that's doing really well. So here, we were giving, even housewives for that matter of fact. So we were giving housewives, part-time students, full-time students, freelancers, part-time employed people. We were giving them a chance to kind of get into the fashion industry, about the fashion industry, also to understand how a business works, to get experience without no investment, but still a massive chance to kind of make money. So we've got people now, and talking from business point of view, this has worked out so well for us. Because they're promoting our website, they're promoting my brand, they're posting all our product pictures with our branding on all their social media platforms, and they're churning sales. 35% is a commission that I'm anyways giving any other e-commerce portal, any other e-commerce website like Flipkart, Snapdeal, Myntra, whatever. I'm anyways giving them 35%. So why wouldn't I want to give a college girl a 35% commission, who will, even if she doesn't sell a product, if she takes up this initiative, she's going to tell her 50 friends about it. And she's going to tell 50 people from my exact target audience. So I think that is pretty perfect for what I was aiming at. This is something that we just launched 2 months ago, and we have over like 70 registrations and 70 people even running this program. So it's been great. People even hold chunk shows with our products, and so that's something that was very that worked out very well for us. To move on to, like I told you, Fashion Jobs India, which is a non-profit jobs portal for only the fashion industry. So when you're looking for jobs or internships in the fashion industry, you should definitely check it out. What we do is we post jobs, internships, part-time stints, freelancing stints on this website. But categorically fashion industry because I saw this huge gap between everyone wanting to be in the fashion industry, everyone wanting to work in the fashion industry, but kind of finding it unattainable. Like they were they were thinking that I don't think I can reach the designers, you know. I think that how do I get in touch with them? Like they found it to be very inaccessible. When on the other hand, all these fashion entrepreneurs and designers were coming up to me and telling me, you know, please find me interns, I want girls your age and, you know, young girls. And I said, okay, so there's this massive bridge, this massive gap here which is not being fulfilled. And so it's something I started a year and a half ago, which has been pretty great. We have practically one job posting every single day. And you receive a guarantee of 50 resumes in your inbox, which is a ballpark figure, but frankly, we're not charging the company anything, we're not charging you anything, it's non-profit. So whatever you're going to get out of it is great, and you're definitely going to get some fantastic resumes. So that's that. And
do you have any questions?
So I noticed that you seem to be on a lot of platforms, you have resellers and so on. So how do you engage with audience in all these different platforms? Like all your people who are buying your stuff. I mean, how do you keep track? How do you respond to queries? Things like that.
so now we have a team of people working for Style Fiesta. So we have somebody who is dedicatedly for customer care, dedicatedly. So that is customer care. One is email, of course, but the others over social media platforms. Whenever somebody posts a query or an issue or returns or an exchange, there is one dedicated person who deals with it because that is a very time-consuming and it's something that it's a person that any e-commerce venture needs is somebody from customer care. So yeah, that's taken care of. But whenever people post pictures and stuff, they always send it to us, so it's not a problem. It's very easy to track that way. And
when you first started Style Fiesta, how did you deal with the issues of logistics and more importantly reverse logistics, pickups, so on and so forth?
So when I first started off in the beginning, what I did was, the first thing I did was speak to FedEx because that's the only logistics company that an 18-year-old girl would have thought of at that time. But so I started with FedEx and it was a really, really bad experience. Extremely bad experience because they kind of made me sign a contract, but there were a lot of hidden prices in terms of octroi that were not quoted during the signing of the contract. It was probably my relationship manager who didn't clarify things, but it was probably if I had another relationship manager, I wouldn't have faced those issues, but I faced them. But on a more resolved stage, which is the present, we use Miracle Couriers for all prepaid delivery, which is a courier company that only hires deaf adults. So it's also our way of kind of contributing to society because it's all deaf adults doing the deliveries in Bombay, and they have a tie-up, and we use Aramex and Blue Dot for outside Bombay. For COD, we use Gati Couriers and delivery. So yeah.
If you increase the price of the articles to accommodate to the extra 35% commission?
No.
How do you manage your cash flows, giving away 35% of the...
To e-commerce websites?
No, the resale program that you said.
Okay, so like I said, the reason that I agree on 35% commission and not something lesser is because 35% is a very attractive number for somebody who's not working, and it is a fantastic margin. So what is happening is that I was anyways giving that margin to 25 other websites who are contributing to 50% of my sales revenue. So why would I mind giving it to them? In terms of how am I calculating it while I'm giving it to the other e-commerce websites? Of course, that's something that when I was deciding the MRP, you always keep that margin because there was a strategy that we had kind of instilled before while pricing our products.
Do you think it should work against you? Because if I'm a regular college going person and I know you're offering a 35% margin to me, I know this product must be much cheaper. I don't know. Like, it can work against you.
But see, the product is not on sale at a price lesser than what you're selling at anywhere. So even on my website, it's selling on MRP. If it's selling on my website, thank you. If it's selling on my website, if it's selling on Myntra or you're selling it, it's selling at the same price. So there is nobody who can get it cheaper. If you're talking about having a 35% margin, any product that sells anywhere has margins. So if you're buying a product from a store, unless it's an individual brand store, if it's a multi-brand store, which most stores are, each brand has a 50% cut. In retail stores, it's a 50% margin. So, do you have that question when you're buying something?
Sorry, I think maybe the direction she was going in is what's to prevent me from signing up as a reseller, buying the stuff.
And getting 35% off yourself?
Yeah.
So we've had this question because, hello, we're in India, but what happens is we have them get, we have a minimum of sale per month of 6,000 rupees. Now, even if they're buying stuff for 6,000 rupees for themselves, there's a discount coupon that will get them that much discount on the website. So, all works fine.
Your sourcing and manufacturing is in India or you do it from?
No, it's all, it's in Southeast Asia and in America.
Now,
for the friends, people is buying from your website or through some e-commerce website. What do customers prefer, buying the same product from your website?
So we have this product diversification where we don't give all our products to e-commerce websites. That's also an advantage for girls who are in the fashion reseller program, is they get access to sell all of our products. But any other e-commerce website, there's a very specific collection which falls on the generic category which goes to all others. So when you come on the website, you will never see this collection that's on stylefiesta.com will not be, all of it will not be ever available.
You mentioned about the affiliate program. Yeah. So suppose if there are say 20 college girls are there and if they are referring people and if those people come to your website to buy the product, so how will you keep a track that which customer has come through which reference?
So what happens is there's a full format and there's an order form that happens with registration for the fashion reseller program. So today if I'm telling my friends that this is a website. So now if she's actually your friend, I mean why is she going to mind you earning 35% on it? Secondly, she's heard of the website through you. So what happens is I fill in the order form for her. So and we have an ongoing relationship with each fashion reseller. So we know the kind of orders that they're getting. Because the order doesn't come through our online website. It comes as an offline order through the order form.
So basically those orders are offline?
Yeah, they're offline.
Hi, I am from an e-commerce company who is giving a solution to this whole industry, and we are an integrated solution provider for both the logistics as well as the payment gateway. So we are trying to understand how much does cash on delivery option hurt you. In fact, there are very too many reports which are coming in that it's hurting the whole industry a lot. So from your perspective, are there any refusals on people who refuse to give money on the cash?
Frankly, the percentage is too low to be even something that needs to be glanced upon. We never get refusals. We barely ever get refusals of people kind of failing to accept the product saying I didn't order it. Because there is a very strong system after ordering a product, the format that goes through. So that's not a problem that we face. In terms of, I don't think COD, even however hurtful it is to the e-commerce industry, I don't think that's ever going to go out of India. So I think it's just something that needs to be ignored and move on. Like even if it's a cost that you're facing, it's a part of your price, and your customers choosing to pay for it. So it's an additional cost. You're not adding that cost onto your MRP. It's something that they pay on the shipping page. So your customer's choosing to pay for it. So frankly, it's completely it's in the customer's court. It's gonna.
Do you have an offline store or something apart from the online store that you have?
No.
Also, because whatever promotion that you're doing offline, will you try to bridge the gap between the offline sales and the online sales so that you can drive traffic from the offline crowd to the online? They're more like a tab.
So, like I told you, we held these events, a couple of events, and we also took part in a couple of pop-up stores and things like that. Only in the beginning, to kind of raise awareness and have people touch and feel our product, test our product, see how it looks in person, see the finish of the product, see whether if you're paying 500 rupees for it, is it worth it? I'm just going to wear it 5 times. Or any question that you might have like that in your mind. So that's something that we did to get the offline people online. But now, frankly, we don't take part in any offline events. In terms of like trunk shows and sale events, we don't do that because that's not our brand image right now. So what we do is, I mean, see, to be honest, think about it this way. If I take part in an exhibition or a pop-up store, the minimum I'm going to pay for a table is 10,000 rupees, which is the minimum, which is not even possible anywhere. It'll go up to 20,000, 25,000, it'll go up to 50,000. If I spend that much money on SEM with a CPC of 180 rupees, which is also high, still look at the amount of orders I'm getting. And what is the guarantee that the trunk show is going to get me that much orders, plus the effort and the time that's wasted in holding that trunk show.
Okay, let's not talk about the offline events. Let's say a housewife who's selling a product, and she has a tablet of your same online store.
Tablet?
Just say an online store for mobile compatible.
Yeah.
So she shows the tablet, and probably she can actually say, if you want a discount, you buy it from this app that is there on my tablet, the same store. So if you try that option where you can actually increase the traffic on your website, even from your offline promotions that you're trying out to the reseller program.
I mean, the point of the reseller program is that to drive more traffic. So that fashion reseller program is in fact a complete offline initiative because we're targeting people and it's offline orders like I mentioned.
Because we usually, we run the same company, so we usually suggest people like fashion entrepreneurs that bridging the offline sales and the online sales is probably going to be the future. It's more like the hybrid e-commerce. So for let's say if I have a reseller and I give a cost, so I want to sell my product. I give a cost to the one who is going to buy. If you want a discount, just go to the online store, click a button, you get a discount of 35%. So in an indirect way, you're actually gaining traffic to your website as well. So you're bridging your offline sale to an online sale layer. So I was just hoping if you could just try that sometime.
For sure. We can have it right now.
Alright, we have time for 2
Just
more
1 second. I think someone here has questions to ask. Yeah. Just 1 second.
You mentioned that the differentiation to also resell another brand.
Sorry?
You also retail your own brands in addition to selling another brand.
Only our
With your own label.
Sorry?
Do you also retail
No, we
your
only
own
retail
label?
our own brand. We don't resell any other brands. Because that's a marketplace model which we're not able to do.
You mentioned that the differentiating factor between you and our competitors were that you are a blogger. That was the differentiating factor you mentioned. But you also said that initially you were not getting the sales.
Yeah.
And that was the differentiating factor. So like, isn't there a contradiction like?
No, so what I said is because like I was explaining now tomorrow, like he said earlier also, if you're going to quit your 9-to-5 jobs for a startup, there's a reason. Because a startup requires so much time and so much commitment more than anything. So I mentioned earlier that my blogging trickled down. I was not blogging as much because blogging is also very time consuming. So I was not blogging as much. So my readers were not in touch with me that much. But you know what, because blogging is something that is very hard, but it's very easy to lose touch on. There are so many bloggers who were there but are just not present anywhere anymore. So in that period of launching my website, because I was so consumed by everything, I made a mistake of not blogging that much, which is why I hope I answered your question.
So Masoom, last question. We have a couple of jewelry designers and fashion designers here who want to start their own venture, right? But the question usually comes that how do they know about pricing? Can you highlight like how did you, what research do you do and how do you price your products? Like, you mentioned that you change your entire pricing model.
Yeah.
Can you help them out understand that how to go about pricing and what research you do?
Yeah, definitely. So from the place that I'm coming from, my focus was sales. I did not want to focus on profit. I wanted to focus on mass sales. So what I wanted was, I don't mind if in my first model I was to clothes and my pricing was a lot higher, even for my accessories, was at a very nascent stage in my business. So I was concentrating a lot on profit. So what I understand now is that first I need to build my business and I need to build my brand on a very large scale and then kind of focus on the full profit side of it. So there's definitely a cut right now, but I'd say that it's not an extremely large one. So I just made sure that my costs like logistics, photography, commissions, like my basics 5 to 6 costs are included in my pricing, and then I mark it up. But again, my markup for my profit margin is very less, because at this stage, with my products, if I'm going to have a volume of sales, the profit will automatically come in. But if I focus right now and price my product a lot higher, then my sales are not going to come in. So it's something that's just going to take a lot.
Alright, please request to take a contact. Thank you very much.
I was always very, very competitive, aggressively competitive. I had to be the best at anything I did. And usually some people have a problem. They don't know what they're interested in or what their passion is. My problem was I was interested in too many things. I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to be an artist. So I started with narrowing down pretty much what suited me best. Doctor was too much studying, and I was always outside the classroom, never inside the classroom. Actor, I would love to be an actress because I'm very expressive. I was always on stage throughout school and college. But food is like my weakness, and I could not have that. At that time, Kareena Kapoor was size 0, so that phase was on. Now, of course, it's Vidya Balan and Kim Kardashian. I could do pretty okay now, but back then, there was no hope or scope. So I was like, artist, best life, sort it out, just make beautiful, pretty things, and people would buy them, it'd be easy. Worst plan ever. Now I want to kick myself every time I think back, like why the hell did I decide to do this? But ever since I can remember holding like a pencil or a pen, I have been drawing ever since that day. I have been passionate about everything from like the bed sheet in my room to like the drapes in my bedroom, and what comes in that tray that my mother bought for the house. If I didn't like it, it was how to like. She couldn't use it. I was obsessed with design. Design for me was everywhere. So when I decided, that I want to be an artist, design for me, art is a huge field, right? You could be a painter, you could be many different things anyway. So I decided I wanted to be a designer. Now, design in itself is so complicated. What kind of design did I want to do? And at the age of 16, now it might sound lame, but back then, I really idolized Britney Spears. For me, she was the shit. Like, I wanted to be Britney in my field. And she was 16, she was young, she was all over the place. She was like, queen of pop and influencing young minds. So I was like, okay, she's 16 and she's like famous and rich, and it's too late now. I've started too late, so I better hurry up. So I wanted to just get out of school and work. I was fiercely independent. So it started with a passion, and then it moved on to ambition. So I had very high ambitions from a very young age, which really helped me in the long run. My first internship ever was with an interior designer. I was like, I want to be like smart, and I want to be like looked at as smart as well as like creative, and I want to be an architect. So I interned with an interior designer when I was 18. After I got done with school, I decided to apply to the Rizvi College of Architecture. I've always wanted to go to Parsons School of Design, but I was the only child, and my parents were like a huge hindrance. So I went to Rizvi, and they said, no, you need to have math as your 6th subject in the 12th. And I was like, but I took fine art. Isn't that important as well, like to have an aesthetic? And they were like, and I said, you give me a math test, I will pass it. But they were like, no, madam, ek aur saal aapko wait karna padega, वापस karo. And I was like, no way am I wasting one more year of my life in that classroom. So I was like, okay, to hell with you. And then I was really late for everything else, so my parents were like, fashion is for failures, you know, you do something complete. So I went to Jai Hind College, and the coolest thing and the most creative thing was the Bachelor's in Mass Media, BMM. All my friends were applying, and I was like, okay, chalo, even I'll apply. And I got it. That's the only college I applied to. Luckily, I got in. It was right next to my house. I was never in college. But, you know, my aim was just to like get a degree, and throughout college, after I finished my internship with the interior designer, I worked with a jewelry designer. She was from New York and did like some really, really high-end semi-precious jewelry. That was when I was 19, and then at 20, I decided to explore graphic design, and I was a graphic designer with Kunal Rawal. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he had a label called D-Stress, and now and I was basically creative assistant to him, and he styles all the big Bollywood celebrities, men of course. Anyone from Ranveer to Akshay Kumar to Shahid or whatever. So I was there till for about 2 years, and as soon as I graduated from college, I quit my job. So all throughout like the 11th till my final year of college, the third year of college, I was working. I was only interested in fashion. I graduated, my exams got over, and I quit my job, and I was bored. And all my creative juices were just like flying. They're like hormones, you know, like you don't know what to do with them. You need to like channelize them. So I was walking down Colaba Causeway one day merrily, and I saw those guys doing keychains, you know. So I pretty much something switch just went off, and I was like, wow, you know, these people work so hard and they craft this thing so beautifully. Again, observation. I was always constantly, my school was my life. I was constantly observing people, looking at people, talking to people, you know, asking questions. ये कितने का है, कैसा करते हो, कितना time लगता है, all that stuff. And so I was like, I went home and I made a few designs, and I went back to him the next day and I was like, make me 10 of each. And he was like, what is this rubbish? You know, it was weird. Like this gentleman just pointed out, like your necklace looks like a spaceship, something from outer space. So, you know, so that's how it's, and I just made a collection. And the most important thing about interning and working and all those jobs that I did, I didn't care about the money. They paid me like nothing, and I worked like 14 hours a day. I was bunking college, and I was, you know, getting 0% attendance. But I was the experience and the network that I was building for myself, the people that I was meeting through these established people, that was my wealth. That was what I was earning, really. So when I made my first collection of jewelry, I went to my favorite store in the city, which was Bombay Electric in Colaba. It was like the first concept store of its kind in the city, something like the city had never seen before. And they're very snooty and everything, but I just like emailed them, called them, walked into the store with my jewelry one day and happened to see the owner, and I was like, hi, I just want to show you, like, I made this collection of jewelry, and you know, would you like to retail it? And she was like, oh, I love it. So the next day, I was retailing at like one of the best designer stores. It's pretty much like, you know, that ad where you say, if you don't ask, how will you ever know, you know, what you can get? And then from there, everything pretty much snowballed. And the next month, I was in the Vogue magazine. My favorite model, Lakshmi Menon, was wearing my jewelry over this big fashion spread. And she was the model for Hermes then. And for me, that was at 20 to have Lakshmi Menon wearing my jewelry in the Vogue India was like I could die happily now. So after that, I was like, you know, more encouraged and pumped up, and you know, things just magazines kept coming to me. There was interviews from like the Vogue, the Grazia, Elle. So that's when I realized that, you know, people spend so much money on PR and advertising and all of this. But if you have a great product, it will sell. My product was selling itself, and I didn't need any of that. Until today, we don't have any PR. And people say, oh my God, Dalia's all over the place. What are you doing? Like, who's your PR? I was like, I don't have any PR, you know. People are coming to us. It's because you really have to believe in yourself and your product or your service that you're selling and give it your 100%, and you don't need the fluff around it. And then I wanted to go to Parsons. I was still hell-bent on going to Parsons. I was like, you know, I have to do it now. If I ever do it, I want to learn everything in fashion. And then, you know, what if I want to do clothes like the next year? I don't know how to cut. I don't know how to cut a pattern. The main essence of a garment is its pattern. You know, how you cut it and the fabrics. Anyway, it's a lot of detail that goes into it. So finally, my parents realized that, okay, you know, this is something. It's some substantial stuff. She's not just fapping and she's not fooling us. So they decided to send me to Parsons. Now, before I went, Lakme Fashion Week was the biggest platform in the country. And as I said, I was always really competitive and ambitious, always aimed like, you know, at the highest point. I never wanted, you can never want less than the best. You always have to aim for the top. You have to aim for Britney. You can't aim for like, you know, sound like Ravi Sawant.
Can we quote it somewhere?
Do what you want. I'm pretty like, I can be pretty upfront and blunt about things, so I don't really care. So yeah, and so I just applied to Lakme India Fashion Week, and I got accepted. I wasn't ready to do a show then because I was preparing to go to Parsons, and it was a huge deal. So I decided to do a booth, and that collection I did laser cut acrylic jewelry. At that point in time, I was one of the 2 or 3 costume jewelry designers in India. Women in India didn't know what costume jewelry is. When I used to do exhibitions, they would come to me, and that time, and still, exhibitions are like a really big deal. They would come to me and be like, ये pure है, ये gold है, ये इतना महंगा क्यों है, इसके अंदर क्या है? Like million questions that you just want to like shoot them. Like it was so annoying. But patience really pays. I used to answer every question. I feel like I have educated one woman at a time. So when I made this laser cut acrylic jewelry, you know, it was like really big, really loud, it was neon. I mean, in the last couple of years, neon was a big rage, and my logo was neon, and I did neon like in 2008, 2009. So the other thing that really worked for me, or still works for me, is vision. You have to be 5 steps ahead of everyone else in your category or in your business field. So there was no one doing costume jewelry like I did. And when I put up that stall, the whole industry was like amazed. They were so happy and exhilarated and excited that, you know, that there was something modern, or, you know, accessories were getting more importance. It was moving ahead. We still were like the sidekick, you know, because apparel is like what is king in the fashion industry. But that's changing slowly, like Mushroom said, that, you know, they used to sell clothes, but now they're selling mainly jewelry. It's because, you know, it has taken years and years of really selling, hard selling to the people. And in India, you really have to take the Bollywood way, or there is no other way. So at that time also, still my parents were like, why don't you do precious jewelry? Look at your aunt, she's doing so well. And I was like, just chill and wait and watch. So my idea is build and they will come. You make what you have to make. Focus on your vision and focus on your instinct. Instinct is like, you know, has been my biggest winner till date. People will throw all sorts of advice at you. you will be confused what to do, what not to do, but the best advice is your instinct, and I still stick by it till today. For me, jewelry was never about, a business. For me, it was purely about art. When I looked at, and still today when I just saw like collections from New York Fashion Week, from Rodarte and Del Pozo, and people want to like wear that stuff. I want to hang it up in my room on the wall and look at it every day because it's so beautiful. For me, it's purely an art form. So when people actually come and look at my jewelry, I don't sell it to them like I'm selling them a product. For me, I show it to them like it's art. Okay. After that, so I went to New York, and it was the best decision of my life because New York in itself, living there is like an education. Parsons was, the best eye-opener for me. I was in India, it's like when you're in your own homeland, in your own territory, you're like king or queen, but the moment you step outside and then you face the real world and you see, oh my God, there's so much amazing talent out there, I'm shit. Who are these people? So I was competing against that, so competition is always the best thing that can happen to you because it only pushes you to do better. Don't be afraid of your competitors. Always appreciate them and show gratitude towards them because the only way you're going to go ahead and get better in life is, when they are competing against you and you have to be ahead of things. After Parsons, in New York, I went to Paris for summer school, and that again was a dream, but it was a lot of hard work. I didn't sleep for like twice a week, the whole day, for 48 hours I wouldn't sleep, but it was all worth it. So hard work from like the age of 18 till today, and every day I think and I tell myself, I think I should quit. I don't think I can do this. This is like bullshit. I'm always working hard and paying people. No one ever pays me. So when you're starting up and when you're an entrepreneur, you can forget about, savings, or you can forget about, yes, there is potential to save when you're selling a service, but when you're manufacturing or when you are making your own product, it is almost next to impossible because a startup and a new company is like a growing hungry child. You have to keep feeding it, and it's just never satisfied. It's like an endless hole on the bed. So you have to be prepared for it. And if you're not prepared for that, I suggest you invest your money in a really specialized course or education. Really research the market and see, because there are still a lot of holes and gaps that need to be filled that don't have a lot of competition in terms of specialization. Invest your money in a good education and then just boom it. Just sell yourself to all the big companies who have the money will hire you. Okay, so Parsons and everything was over. I moved back, and now was the big question because I had studied apparel design, but Valia was an accessories label. So should I go back to Valia or should I start again? And by this time, when I had started, I was like 1 or 2 or 3 costume jewelry labels, and the other ones were also doing something really different. They were doing more Indian Kundan type of stuff. I was really confused. So I traveled, explored, did trunk shows. But when I came back, there was 500 people doing costume jewelry. So over the years, people had, it might sound like, I don't want to boast or anything, but I really feel like I helped in the revolution of costume jewelry in the country, changing one woman at a time, and you will be surprised at how word of mouth spreads. You just touch one woman, and she, women like to talk, and she is going to go and tell the whole world about her new discovery. So which is why Marshall was also targeting housewives. So by the time I came back, there was this whole new market. Which was a very, very good thing for me because there was competition, yes, and there was a lot of plagiarism, which I will talk about. But a new market had opened up. There was more supply, which meant that there was more demand for costume jewelry, and there's a huge middle class. And that same aunt, who my dad asked me to be like and be doing a precious jewelry with, she had ventured into costume jewelry. So I was like, see, look, I told you. And that was like when I realized that I had to follow my vision and my instinct and not listen to anything anyone else had to say. So when I came back to Bombay, my advantage was that this was in 2011, and I had already sown the seeds and established myself really well in the industry. All the fashion editors knew me, all the stores knew me. We were already retailing at all major cities. We had done the first most fashion-forward movie of Bollywood, Aisha. While I was studying, we did all the jewelry for that. I designed all the jewelry for that movie. So there was already a strong base. And I would be stupid to not go back to accessories and build Valia because clothing apparel had so much competition. And right now the market is pretty much like 1/100th of what it's going to be in the next 10 years. Amazon actually did this whole survey where they said that the costume jewelry market now stands at around 4,000 crores and it is going to be 40,000 crores over the next 10 years. So even if I have 1,000 from that, I'll be fine. For now, I'm broke, but who cares, right? I'm here. So every year, and since I got back, I started doing everything that came my way pretty much. This is really tricky because my label and the jewelry is for a very niche market. So it's very tricky sometimes to decide whether I should sell on Amazon or not, whether I should only sell on Ponia's popupshop.com, which is for a high-end product. But as you go on, you realize you just gotta sell. You gotta take people's money no matter who that person is. I just went to Ludhiana and I had a headache by the end of the day. I was standing at the store from 10 in the morning to 10 in the night. And you know how it is to deal with women in the north. But I mean, at the end of the day, they drove me mad and they bargained like crazy even though they were carrying their Louis Vuittons and wearing their big diamonds. But at the end of the day, I won because I took their money. So, you learn to entertain yourself and you learn to look at things from a positive point of view. And there's always a flip side to everything. But I mean, when you're an entrepreneur and you have a startup, you have to always be positive. There is no room for negativity because then you're doomed. So I was talking about plagiarism. Yes, so that's a really big what do you say? They say it's like a shadi ka laddu. It's like if people plagiarize, it's a problem. If they don't, then it's a good thing and a bad thing, pretty much, because we started doing ear cuffs. If you've seen for the men who are not 25 born, they are like those earrings that cover your whole ear. So we did them in early 2012, and they are arranged now. And after Sonam Kapoor wore our ear cuffs to the Hindustan Times Awards, I was selling them like I was selling vegetables. People were going crazy. I was like, wow, that is the force of Bollywood. It's sad, but it's true. I have one client who everything Sonam wears, she wants to come and she wants to buy it. And if it's unavailable or it's out of stock, she will give me nightmares, but she wants it. So she has everything that Sonam has, basically. So that's the kind of power they have. Yeah, so so we started doing those ear cuffs, and then everyone started doing ear cuffs. All the other brands started doing ear cuffs. So in a way, it's like, what the hell, you know? Why? Okay, you want to do ear cuffs? Do ear cuffs. Everyone's doing them now, but the point is, I did it first, so I beat you. Midi rings. This kind of ring that I'm wearing, you wear it on the top. Above your knuckle, it looks uncomfortable, but it's actually really comfortable, and I do this, it doesn't fall off. That's all great design. So we launched them early last year, and again, now they're everywhere, and everyone's doing and selling mini rings. But again, we did it first. So, you know, there's always going to be people plagiarizing, copying, like trying to do what you're doing, but as long as you do it first, like, it's fine, you know, you can make peace with that. And how much are they going to copy? You do something, they'll copy you, but then you do something new, and then again, they'll always be behind you. And that's the attitude that you have to take. People ask me, why don't you write a hate mail to her? Why don't you, like, you know, sue her? I mean, come on, yeah, why should I waste? As an entrepreneur, I have so much to deal with, you know, shop is leaking, this is happening, someone is going on leave, someone's pregnant, like, I don't have the time to send write hate mails to losers, please, so I would say, like, you know, if you come across such people, don't focus on them, don't focus on, like, negative stuff, just focus on, like, you know, fixing, you make before you break. The other thing is you need to constantly reinvent and evolve. Reinvent yourself. I did one collection today, but the next collection has to be better. My next show has to be better. Everything I do has to be, every day has to be better than the previous day. We started off, you know, by retailing at only in Bombay and then across the country. We did Lakme India Fashion Week. This year, so every year I have to set a milestone for myself. This year we exhibited at one of the biggest fashion trade shows in the world called Who's Next in Paris, and at the highest level, which is called the Premier Class, where, you know, people who are like 40-year-old labels, like Jean-Paul Gaultier, those kind of people exhibit. And for me, that was like one thing off my list and one dream come true. And it was hard, it was not easy. But again, as I said, you have to aim for the best, and for, even though I haven't gone back again the next season, but my experience that I took and I learned from that trade show, and the things I learned about the overseas market, about how difficult it is, about how many things you need, it's crazy. So now at least I know what, if I decide to like go overseas in a big way, what I'm going to deal with. We're doing small quantities right now, but if I have to do like departmental stores, I know exactly what I am, you know, going in for. The second thing, that big milestone that we set for ourselves and achieved this year was our first flagship store in Bombay. Bombay, as you know, is so expensive. I have, like, you bleed money here. It's not even like spending money. You're really bleeding yourself dry. So, about 2 seasons ago, last year and the year before that, we did a pop-up in Goa. You know, Goa is like tourist destination, and these 6 months, there's a lot of business that takes place. So that was my first experience having my own shop, and I learned so much from that experience. It was like a trial and error. Luckily it was a pop-up and it was something permanent, because you cannot work in Goa, people there don't work. So I used to pay people there to do all the work myself. I used to look at the beach and be like, hey, that looks like you know, a great dream sitting across the street from me, but I cannot cross the road and go there. So that was a great learning experience, and now that we have our own flagship store in Bombay, all the mistakes that I made there and I learned from, I'm now like making sure that I don't do them, you know, again. So I say that you should write down all your goals, and even if it's not, even if at that point it wasn't a store in Bombay, at least I had a store of my own. At least I did experience what it's like, what retail is like, and retail is like a really hard life. It's not easy at all to get footfall people in your shops. At the end, I just want to say that you are your own brand. So wherever you go, whatever you do, you have to radiate only like, I only radiate Valia wherever I go. People call me Valia. Say, hey, Valia. I was like, dude, I have a name. My name is Nitya. But I'm always wearing my own jewelry. I'm always carrying my own products. I'm always, happy to talk about, fashion and just even impart free consulting and education to people, because at the end of the day, it's all about building relationships, and you never underestimate anyone who comes to your stall at an exhibition, or anyone who enters your shop. And he actually looks at me and he says, Mama, ke liye present lena hai. And he buys like a really expensive piece and he takes out money and pays me like a gentleman from his pocket. I was in shock. This guy was like 6 years old. And he came with his driver holding his water bottle and tiffin. And no one else would have like given him that attention, but I'm so glad I did that. So anyone is a buyer. Sorry, one question on pricing actually, I was asked to highlight. A lot of people have questions about pricing and how they should price their products. Now, I had the same problem, and when you go into an art gallery and you see, art hanging on the walls, you're like, it's paint and canvas, yeah, what is this? Why am I paying so much, 3 crore rupees for this one painting? But art cannot really have a price, so I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that question, but for myself, I pretty much take the material costs that go into making this necklace. Plus, when people come to you, they'll say, ye to sirf brass hai or plastic hai or crystal hai or whatever. But they don't realize who's going to pay for the electricity and who's going to pay for all the other outgoings. I mean, no one's giving me land for free. No one's giving me labor for free. So all of these costs, these little costs that you don't, really think of, you need to think of. And I'm pretty much like, I do everything from production to management to marketing to designing to everything. So I've learned the hard way. People who have a lot of money to put in, you can hire people. But if you don't, there's many cost-cutting measures. Sorry, I completely forgot about my presentation. I'm just going to browse through it and show you examples of this is what I was talking about. What happens when you're a creative person, you want to get yourself out of your own No, it's fine. So that's me. This is the Grazia. So I moved back to India in 2011 and 2012. After doing our first Lakme Fashion Week show, I won the Grazia Magazine Award for Best Jewelry. This is in 2013 that I won the Elle Magazine Award for Best Jewelry. This was also a really special moment. Frida Pinto, we custom made this whole armor for Frida Pinto for Grazia's 5th anniversary special. So jewelry is not, like I was saying, it's like art, it's not about just making one piddly little round circle with petals and then, making earrings. It's much more than that. This is Aishwarya Rai and the Kalyan Jewelers ad wearing art jewelry. Ironic. But again, real people in precious jewelry coming towards costume jewelry, taking help from costume jewelry. Makes me proud. This is Deepika in race 2 where we custom make some jewelry for. These were the earcuffs I was talking about that Sonam wore. And till today I see it in the papers and my mother says, oh Nitya, your earrings have come in the paper. I said, please don't bore me. I'm so done with these, like move ahead. I get, and people come and ask me, can you make me these ear cuffs? I'm like, no, I'm so bored of making them. I can't make them for you. Please try something new now, like be adventurous. Oh, this is Katrina. This is just to show like how we've done talk shows all over the world, and I mean that's a egg. So there's you know, different ways of exploring jewelry. We do a lot of custom-made stuff for movies as well as ads. So this is Deepika wearing our headgear and the wings. You see these wings at the back? Yeah, so it was like a massive, like 10-kilo wing. And this was actually, one other thing that I would like to point out is that money is always not everything. Like I said in the beginning, it's also about experience and wealth. And for the amount of work I put in and for the amount of, you know, elements and work that, and money that went into making these costumes, elaborate costumes. It was a Sony Cybershot video shoot where they were creating like a Rio carnival in the middle of Ballard Estate in the middle of the night. We were shooting like for 24 hours straight. But the kind of experience that was with all the professionals on the set, we had like the best beauty director in the world from Paris being flown down for it. We had like the best, you know, camera person from Australia being flown down for it. So, and the production team was so fabulous that just to be in the company of such people and to be around such people is like a gift in itself. So in these times you don't really, you know, care about how much money you're getting out of it. And to be, you know, congratulated by, oh said, well done, you know, you made the ad look like it was haute couture is like, coming from someone so senior is like a big deal. This was our first show in Lakme. And it all looks like really smooth and nice and so pretty, like when the models are walking down and so simple and easy. But backstage it's chaos. Like no one knows what the hell is happening, like things are flying everywhere. It's absolute madness. Like you will be confused if you go backstage. And that's a lot like, you know, what startups are about as well. You know, they might look like everything is fine and working so smoothly, but back end is a mess always. So this is a shoot we did for our spring summer campaign. Also, you're working on small budgets when you're a startup, and you know, you have to do, for us, we have to have catalogs and lookbooks and shoots. So this is my friend Shelly Shaw, who's a model, and the camera person is also my friend. And I am the hairstylist, makeup artist, jewelry designer, clothing designer. So it's basically a 3-person team that has done this whole shoot, and it looks like it's you know, from some agency. And this beautiful surrounding is a friend's house in Alibag. So, you know, this is your network, these are your people that you have to tap into in times of need like that. When you're a small company and you can't afford to spend like 1 lakh on just a photographer, because that's what it costs these days. So yeah, this is from that shoes, this is another show. This is the fashion editor of Vogue wearing our piece at the Sabyasachi. This is another shoot we did with another friend of mine, looks like a model. It helps to have good-looking friends. This was, we did a special collection for the Nikhil Thapi show. He's a fashion designer and we did jewelry for his show. And till like 5 minutes before the show, my jewelry had not arrived. Like someone had gone to the airport to pick it up from the cargo to come backstage, and I was like sweating, like there was a puddle around me because this wasn't my show. If it was my show, it's still okay, whatever, I have to deal with the consequences. Someone else's show, how can I not have the jewelry on time? So again, this is another challenge you face when you are manufacturing a product. Indians are always good to lie about everything. हाँ मैडम हो जाएगा, कल हो जाएगा, कल तक 2 दिन 10 मिनट में पहुंच जाएंगे. But no, you have to always keep a good solid buffer, and I have learned that after this experience because I was baking when the jewelry hadn't arrived, and we have literally thrown it on the models and put them on stage. This is the same show. These are the mini rings. This is another show that we did for someone else. This is Miss Canada. This is all dress. This was India Today, where Manish Malhotra had named Vania the ruler of the future ruler of the RAM, which was a pretty exciting moment for me since he is like the king of the fashion industry. That is pretty much all of Bollywood wearing our jewelry. Monica Lumbra. It's a visual medium, like it's all about, and this is the product. Okay, follow us on Instagram and and like us on Facebook. We don't pay for likes, okay, any questions?
We just want to time for a couple of questions.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Actually, I have 2 questions.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I know we have less time. I'll just be very quick.
Yeah.
So the first one would be when you said that you had like 3 competitors all over India, including, 2 competitors. It would have been very difficult managing talents then. And when you came back, you said there were 500 other people doing it. So can you talk a little bit about that?
As I said, there is only, so the way I work is that my jewelry is purely 100% mine. I don't look at anything, I don't look at anyone. It's my travels, my inspiration, what I like. I'm very selfish that way. I make what I like and what I want. Even if someone's asking me for a Sonam Kapoor ear cuff, which I made like 2 years ago and I don't want to make it, I won't make it. So I'm a little cramped like that. It doesn't work business-wise, but for me, this is then my art and my passion. So I feel like I am unique. I'm like one piece. So anything that I make will be one of a kind. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you've seen product like that, or if you've seen jewelry easily available like that, please let me know. I will reinvent myself right away.
Second short question is that when you spoke about Valia, I practically felt like I am the Valia of textiles.
Okay.
We are very creative guys who create linens. But I could not digest the fact, the way you spoke about plagiarism.
Yeah.
We as textile industry, we practically invented plagiarism before the word came through. So I just want to know, why don't you they are taking your money basically. As you said, you love taking money from people. In the end, you win.
Yeah.
So don't you think they are winning over you if they are copying you and getting stuff done?
As I said, that for me, it's more about yes, I am taking their money because I need that money to feed my passion. And as I said, this is more like a passion for me. If it was more about money, then I would be really coming in on my Bentley and not in a Meru.
So more money won't feed more passion?
I think that actually I already feel like why did I make my hobby my business? Because now I don't have my hobby left. Because now for me it's become my profession. I have to do it. Even if I don't want to make the same earring 5 times, I have to make it because my vendors are asking me to make earrings. They're always screaming at me saying, why aren't you making more? But I always I'm always in a constant battle with that, and that's something that's kind of personal, to me.
If I ask one more, they'll throw me out.
How did you come up with the name Valia?
Valia. Okay, sorry.
That's my question.
Oh, that was your question. Great. 2 birds with 1 stone. So yeah, I'm a hardcore, I have ghee running through my blood. That's how Punjabi I am. So, but at the same time, I'm a world citizen. I love traveling, and I take inspiration from like all over the world. But my first, when I was thinking of the name and I was like really young, I thought about my first association with jewelry. And it was when my grandmother gifted me my first pair of like gold hoops. Every woman in Punjab owns gold hoops. Yeah, I decided to just call it Valiya. I like the sound of it. And kind of sounds international. A lot of people think it's French or it's like some exotic language, but it's actually just plain Punjabi. And my logo was earlier like this, Punjabi font saying Valiya, like the Punjabi script saying Valiya, it was neon. And we've changed it to like this a little more mature international version because we were going to Paris. But we still retain the old logo for the lower end line, and this is for the higher end collection. And this is again, the logo and the name is really important for your startup. I mean, it can your logo and your name can either make or break you. So this is basically two tusks. Tusks are like the most primitive form of jewelry, so it really goes back in time, and it's I don't know, it's very like Indian, like all the Maharajas wore tusks, So it's, and I'm an old soul. I love like vintage things. I take a lot of inspiration. A lot of the jewelry is inspired by vintage architecture and art and prints. A lot of fabric and textiles. So yeah.
I'm sorry, last question. You can just connect with Nitya. She's giving you 3 different.
One more question.
Valiya is Valiya. First compliment.
Thank you.
Okay, my question is that you are creating art, right? Now
Yeah.
you're visiting internationally. What is the process actually? For example, what they want. For example, what is the physique of the girl? What type of dress she is wearing? So you are here, right? So do you showcase multiple things? What is that? Can you just tell us? Or you go there and sit with them, then you design? Could you just
Okay, so when I say we sell internationally, it's like you go to a trade show where there are stores from all over the world that come, like the big fashion stores like Harrods or Net-a-Porter, which is like an online international and Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever. The buyers come. So they have accessories buyers who done like their research. I mean, they work in detail. So they know what the client wants, they know what the customer wants, they know what the international trends are, what's on the ramp. So you don't just make anything and go. You have to have a concept in mind. You have to be selling them something that's trendy but unique, but like well priced, but like. So there's a lot of factors that come in. You just have to win in all aspects, basically. Like whether it comes to and your collection should have enough pieces and enough styles for every kind of woman. I have things like that are priced from 2,000 to 30,000. I have things that can be worn by a 16 and 18-year-old and things that can be worn by a 60-year-old. I have big, large statement pieces. I have like, kind of pieces. Like for example, I'm wearing like a thin chain and I'm wearing a big like pendant. So I cater to both worlds, every kind of woman. And the best thing about accessories is you don't need to be like, tall, short, fat, thin, black, white, whatever, you can wear jewelry, anyone, it fits anyone and everyone. Yes.
I think Nitya, I need to stop. It's
Yeah,
sorry
sure.
for it, but I do have some other interesting stage facts.
I think you would like to arrange a dinner.
No, so I would request everyone to, since you have been so patient, I will request you guys to please wait. We do have a product demo and a LP coming up, so let's be fair with them also. It would take 15 minutes of your time more, but I would request you to stay. I know we are running a little bit. Meanwhile, they do a setup. I request you guys to please stay.
How many of you are technical here? Okay. And what about the rest? Now, when you have something where you have to like, as the other speakers mentioned, the biggest problem that they faced was not getting a reliable vendor to make your product. And as Robin mentioned again, most of us now operate through mobile. Like even if you check a website, it's through mobile. That makes the mobile apps the most used medium as such. There be a 2-year-old kid or a 60-year-old person. So, product is called Sonic. Yes. Any idea as to why Sonic? What does Sonic actually mean? Anyone? That's that. So today we're making it for an upstart. It's called She Stole My Wardrobe, and that's by Shreya, Soumya Maheshwari, and Utkarsh will be designing the product for her. So we've already logged into the system. If you see, it's as easy when you have your design component, your colors, your feature, and your application. So yeah. So first is the template. Now it shouldn't be for everyone the same thing. So you can choose your own template as to what fits your fits your need. Then in case if you want to have a different layout also, you can always change it. You guys can open out this link, http://tabdemo.cruise.in/overview. So whatever he's doing there will right now reflect in mobile phones as well. So as you saw, the homepage screen change it to the image that he just uploaded. And it will work across all mobile phones. You guys can just check it out as well. So as you see right now, the features are also getting deleted. So instant updation from the cloud. You can instantly update it, instantly change it, and you don't have to depend on your developer and keep on requesting them to change your thing. So that's you yourself or your social media person, they can easily do that. So if you want to just have a brief bio about yourself as to what you do, what your brand is about. Because in an app, you need to represent that. In a website, you have a generally about the brand or about us. The same thing there. As simple as composing your email. Don't really need to know too much of technology and all. If you're a developer, then you can obviously add on more to this feature.
you have flexibility as to what icons you want. You just provide a basic set of icons. You can design your own icon, you can put it in. So that your app is completely customized to you. These are tablets that we have built. It will work on Android, it will work on iOS, and it will also work on HTML5. So you can also open as a web, a mobile website. Yeah, it's I just wrote the link there. Yeah, it's a demo right now because it's a program demo, so we've just given a demo. Yeah.
I have a website on Squarespace. Will that integrate with this as well?
Yes, website can be integrated within it, so we'll show it to you.
So if someone wants to convert their website to mobile app, they can do it.
Yeah, no, still images are here. And right now it's taking the base page image. You can change it, customize to each page can look different.
So where is like the about us page that you guys created?
Yeah, just one.
Just trying to understand it.
Yeah.
These are two symbols.
It's just the image. Change the image. If any of you has that link open, it will reflect on it right now. So it integrates your website, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Picasa. Facebook page is here. And it will have all the updates, all the posts that happen. We'll start reflecting that also here.
Do you need to have an app for it, or does it help you create it entirely?
It has to create it from the scratch. If you have any other social media platforms like your Facebook, like your Twitter account, and you want all that to be integrated in the app itself, so it becomes one platform where all your different display mediums where you put yourself, you put that all in the single app that is yours.
So it basically helps you like put together all your content.
Yes.
You basically have the content and it lets you cumulatively put
Yes,
all the
plus
content.
you can also have your products. Like you can have a shop, a cart. You'll not be doing that right now because of our shortage of the time, because there's a huge inventory that will have to be updated. So I do that takes the time. Otherwise it's just 7 minutes as we had said. Okay, so now if anyone wants to contact you, again it's a one-touch call. So like how your WhatsApp works, you press on the number and it directly opens in your phone book. Same thing will happen in here. It also integrates your map. So when you put in an address, it shows you in the map where that address is. So anybody wants to email you, can directly just email it to this account. Just go to the contact and email. Type the email and send it across to you.
So after I create different pages that you are showing, you will provide us a link through your website, right?
So no, we will also provide you with the APK. So it goes directly on the app stores, and we provide the entire source code of the application that is being made,
Which I can deploy anywhere.
which you can deploy. Basically, you can submit yourself also to the app stores. And the website, the HTML file is right now hosted with us. Can I have your website address? Someone here just check.
I am Mr. Dotting, www. I am Mr. MR. No, one more M. Yeah, dot in.
So you can check it on your phone probably.
And also there are a lot of other features also. So you can integrate your blog, you can have discounts, you can have a loyalty system as well, which can be either spend based or visit based depending on your business model. And this coupon is only one time use. So nobody can again use it. So you have a count on how many times people use it. And also you can have it where you can extend the offer for a long period as well. So you have flexibility in that case also. So in case you want to add videos, you can add videos from your system, you can add videos from YouTube and Vimeo. Right now I'll just do a search parameter. And so if you have your own channel on YouTube, you can integrate it here. Or else you just want to show a random thing which collaborates with your brand, you can show that also here.
Out here, if we want to have a payment gateway, it is there.
The payment gateway right now is with PayPal.
Okay.
So it's there. And we are also looking into with other vendors also. Because this is a product that deploys across 3 different platforms. So we don't want, like recently, basically is closing down now. And Indian PayPal, if you see Indian, all these payment gateways are quite unstable right now. And giving a product, and we do a tie-up, do a sandbox and everything, and then later on they shut it down. It affects all my consumers. Say if you have a fashion event or you have an exhibition and you want your customers to also know about it. also get push notifications, unlimited. Send it as many times as you want. And you can target it as area-wise. You can have your pre-time determined. Say if you want to send a push notification at 10 in the morning, like what Fashion View does. So Fashion View has a 10 in the morning sale. And that very moment, I know there's a sale coming up. I visited the last night. But I am completely missing out. So you can send a push notification, okay, the sale starts right now. It's all about getting a customer come to you rather than waiting for your customer. You know, see a display, take an action, or remember that he has to come at that moment. Any queries? No one has a doubt? Yeah.
Is it a responsive app or it is a responsive
It's a
app?
responsive app.
And how do you kind of give it as a, do you give it as a service on the cloud or how?
Service in the cloud.
Service on the cloud.
Yes. Good colors.
And what is the platform? What is the platform which is done? Is WordPress or something? Or
No. We have entirely designed it from the scratch.
But what is the base?
What is
We use a framework. We use it, yeah.
Framework?
That are not used. But we use a framework and it's not based on WordPress. And it's not based on PhoneGap either. Because here you get your entire source code. In the end, I'll show you that also. So here you can entirely change the color. And the color palette is the entire range that comes in.
But the source code is kind of HTML5 or is it something more?
No, you get, like for Android, you get your Android source code. For your iPhone, you get your X code, which you have to even compile it. So the entire code is in your hand, and you can obviously make changes if you have a certain knowledge of how to code on an Android application or an iOS application. You can change it also. So we are basically giving you the basic structure on which you can make it. Quickly increase, you know, the time that it takes for a development. Now, if this application itself were to be made, it would have at least taken, by single programmer, at least 1 week for Android, another 10 days for iOS, and maybe it come 96 days for HTML5. So that's for about a month of work has been finished in less than 15 minutes or 10 minutes. I don't know, I haven't kept the count up. And that's where you get your source code to run the application. You have to write your bundle ID. Those developers here must be knowing about it. Write it up. It needs to be unique because if there are 10 different applications, 10,000 of different applications that go there, so your ID needs to be unique. Mention it here. You can download your versions.
Can you use it for a transaction website or something, or is it purely content based?
You can use it. That's why I said it's a shop model as well. So where you can have your products displayed also. And yeah, you can have your products displayed. And right now we support PayPal. And we're integrating other payment gateways as well.
But does it not lock me into a particular thing? Like,
I didn't get it.
I mean, the source code is basically a APK. It could be an Android or iOS.
Yes.
What about website and on a web?
So you also get an HTML5 version of it. So it can be also open as I mentioned the link.
But it's not directly programming anything. The final output is HTML5.
No, it's a native app. So you get a native app which also works on your HTML5. So it's a web.
Basically a responsive app which works everywhere.
Yes. So it's a web app, you get an Android app, and you also get a iOS app.
Thank you, Neha.
Yes.
If they would like to develop an app or get in touch with you.
That's a website, soniclass.com. You can subscribe in here. And or you can mail to get involved at soniclass.com. And if you have any questions, you can mail out the same as well.
So do you have any quick question to her?
What's in the backend? Means like which programming language you people are using? Okay, so you have the license for this framework or what?
It's a copyright. We have patented it as well.
So as a tech expert, Neha, what would you recommend for a startup who is looking for starting a website? Would you recommend them to go for a website or they should go? I know you have a mobile app, but you recommend mobile app, but still there would be a reason behind it that you recommend people to go with mobile app because you are already providing HTML5. People are looking for developing their mobile for a website, but then how would this help them?
So I'll tell you the prime reason why you should consider an application. Earlier, most of the fashion bloggers, when they started out, they started selling to Facebook pages. Now they've moved on to Instagram. Why? The simple thing is why? Because it's entirely, the entire consumer base as we are today, we're entirely addicted to the mobile. And the second stage that they do after Facebook is open their own website. So what's the next stage after Instagram that you have to do? Have your own application. And also serves the purpose of your website also.
So I came across and gave this opportunity to Neha because one of the apps she showed me was she built it for a restaurant.
Yes.
And they had a loyalty which she showed it out, and they even had some discount and all, which was very amazingly working for the restaurant. So that's the reason I thought it would be helpful for our startups also to go with app and kind of get it developed from her, which is a very useful thing. So I
No,
will,
not developed for me. You can actually develop
you can
yourself.
develop yourself basically.
So basically see how easy it is. So no depending on the coders anymore.
Is it a standard license cost or something, or what is it? Is it
It's really this thing. So we basically provide you the initial application, which starts from 20,000 upwards. So it's just the first year, and then it's just the maintenance and hosting charges. That's all. Yes. So 20,000 onwards, depending on more and more features, because this is just a snippet of the features that are there. This entire platform has been made no matter what your requirement is, no matter what your business is. You're able to create something of value for your product.
There are many such applications which are allowing people to develop their own apps. Some are even more advanced than AngularJS and all those things. So how does your thing different?
So AngularJS basically when you have AngularJS is basically something that you require when you're making an iPhone application or something that you're using on PhoneGap. So obviously this also uses a tech backend on that. But there are other frameworks also that we use and that we've used for this.
But a lot of apps like My App Maker and everything which are doing the same kind of features. I mean, I only want to understand how is it different from them? Is it something that we've done separately? Your technology proprietary?
No, this is a proprietary technology. So I know there are other ones, but then if you see the flexibility of it, not many are there, and most of them are very expensive. They're not to make them this thing. They cost you even more than hiring a normal programmer will probably cost you. And there are a lot of other ones also which do not really provide you a service. They are probably doing a hack themselves and giving it to you. So what the complaint that she had was that she had to change 4 developers over the time period. So that's not there. Here, even if you're a developer, you can yourself develop your stuff even further. You get the entire code. That's the main advantage. That even if this platform at one point you want something more out of it, you can create your own platform.
And I think since you guys are part of Head Start, Neha has offer to give to our Head Start community. So I think you can go ahead and put in your, for a few startups you were planning to give an offer, right? So
Definitely. If any of you are interested in getting an application made, we'll be more than happy to give you at a free price. So, but yeah, obviously they're going to not to everyone, but yeah, few specific ones, yes.
you can get in touch with her because you are getting benefit of attending this event also. So it's for those people who have attended the event, you can get in touch with Neha. Okay. Thanks, Neha.
Thank you.
We have one more lightning pitch for 5 minutes. Interesting guy. I'll give it to Rahul.
Just working as a seller. What if you can help your friend who is in need of something which you don't need anymore? Here's the answer. Trustadeal.com, India's first social classified website. We are live in Mumbai since last 1 week, and we have started getting a good traction, 500 signups and 5,000 page visits and all. So this is our website, as it's an LP, so I'm making it a little brief. You can search what your friends are selling from ads from friends. So it's like you have to log in with Facebook, and we get to know who your friends are, and if any of your friends has already posted an ad on our website on trusteddeal.com, you get to know about his ad in this section. Sort ads based on trust factor. This is a USP, means this is something we are doing really unique. What is trust factor? This is an algorithm developed by us which gives a rating to each ad based on certain parameters. Like if the person is your Facebook friend, how many mutual friends you have with him, how many photos have been posted with the ad, how many spams have been reported against the ad, how many followers count the seller has, and how much data he has filled in the ad. So other than this, there are certain more parameters for getting the trust factor. So this is actually a rating which decides the trustworthiness of the ad. Okay, so you can actually follow people on trusteddeal.com. Just like Twitter, you follow people, you get to know about their tweets. You follow people here, you get to know about their deals. Because for example, if you are following me, whatever deal I post, you get to know about it. So this kind of thing is actually good for people who are into the selling business, who are brokers, who actually post 50, 60, 70, hundreds of ads daily on classified sites. So they actually get a good target mass from here. So let's talk about the market and opportunity. As per our survey, 1 lakh plus ads are posted daily throughout various classified sites in India. If we talk about Mumbai, more than 10,000 ads are posted daily. India has a big internet user base, third largest in the world. Classified industry is a $1 billion market right now, currently valued. Okay, competitor analysis. These are some of the big competitors we have. Direct, as they are selling into all the categories like us, and indirect for the specific ones. So, yeah, you must be thinking about how we will generate money, obviously. Firstly, we are live since last 1 week. Okay, so we are actually focusing on getting the user base. So we are getting our marketing done as fast as possible, as aggressive as possible. So we are actually getting that converted into a good user base. So it's in process. So, but if we talk about revenue models, we have this premium ads, advertising, analytics, which is in process, and we are developing some innovative ways of revenue generation for TrustedDeal, which is in R&D right now. How we will scale up? We are developing right now. We are a website, a responsive website, which you can actually open on your phone as well, www.trusteddeal.com, and but we are working on our Android as well as iOS app. Marketing is going on. We are live in Mumbai. From next month, we will be live throughout most of the metro cities in India. And one more thing. Currently, we are using Facebook login. Okay, so it's like but why we use Facebook only? The very reason is that the biggest friend circle, the biggest user base you have is through Facebook only, among all the social network sites. But still, we are developing integration with G+, Twitter, LinkedIn as well. But they are in process right now. So this is our team, and thanks for listening. Any questions from others?
Guys, I think your concept was about the social circles, right?
Yeah.
A simple question is like, suppose I want to sell something like my deck or some car or something. Why would I need to log in there? I can just go and post it on my Facebook. Somebody will buy it from there in my social circle.
A very simple explanation for this. You must have seen various people writing this. मुझे अपना फोन बेचना है, कोई खरीदने वाला है तो ले लो. Actually, when you see these things on your timeline, when you news feed, you feel यार ये क्या spam मारने में लगा रहता है रोज रोज, क्या डालता रहता है. This happens actually. So Facebook is not the platform for doing your marketing stuff, for doing your personal stuff. Okay, so you have 700 to 800 friends who are not in Mumbai. Okay, so this ad is not of any significance for them. So we actually created a platform which is specifically dedicated for these type of stuff. If you want to sell something, post it there. If any of your friend is actually interested, then he can see there. But for me, if I'm your friend, I'm not interested, I'm seeing your ad. So it's of no worth for me. So it's like a spam for me actually. So is it okay?
So do you have a two section whereas one is like ad and one is ad by my friend?
Yeah, it's just like that. There are two sections. One is all ads and the other is ads from friends. For example, if someone is not my friend, I can see his ad in all ads. Means all the ads will be there, whether he is my friend or not. Okay.
What is the trust factor then?
Yeah, trust factor. In that case,
all ads.
Yeah. In that case, first thing, the person may not be my Facebook friend. Okay. But he may have some mutual friends with me. Okay. In that case, he will come with in ads from friends section because friends of friends are also friends. Okay. So we have kept that in that section. And one more thing, I'm just coming to it. The first thing was.
The first thing was that if I have one ad to
the trust factor. Yeah.
The second is trust factor.
Yeah, trust factor. In that case, we have given a good value to images as well as spams. In case I'm not your friend, but my photos have good content, my ad has good content, good images, as well as I'm not spammed by anyone. In that case, maybe my trust factor will be equivalent or nearly equivalent to some of your friends. So it's like we are actually getting that compared to our algorithm.
So one thing I saw which was missing is reviews. So do you have reviews also?
Actually, thing is, people don't go for it actually, but we are working on that.
Yeah, review for sellers. When we follow it, I should have a review for that seller.
Yeah, we are working on that. Actually, the website is in beta version, but we are live. You can use it. You can post your ad. You can see what your friends are posting, and this is something which you can make use if you are in a campus, if you are in a college or something like that.
So how are you different from like when I go to Amazon, right? And let's say I'm looking to buy something there. Every product beneath the Amazon page has like 20 reviews, 25 reviews. So that tells me whether or not the seller is trustworthy or not, right? In itself.
Can you see my ad on Amazon? It's like I'm your Facebook friend. Means I'm one of your close friends. Can you see my ad on Amazon?
I mean, yes, if you put it on Amazon, yeah, you're fine.
I'm not a big
Why would I
seller.
not put it on like an OLX or like an Amazon where I can access more people?
I just want to sell my second-hand phone. Should I create an inventory on Amazon for that? Miss, you are saying that now?
Put that on OLX, like as simple as that. Like how would you not put that on OLX when you have like a large universe of buyers? And
Yeah, obviously, those buyers are here also. Actually, we have a very good use case. This happened with me, through which this idea actually was generated. I shifted my flat and I went to the other one, and there I found one of my old friends. Okay, so he asked me, "भाई तूने change कब किया?" तो मैंने कहा कि like last week only. So then he asked, "तूने अपना जो used stuff था, refrigerator, almirah and all, did you sell it?" So I told him, "यार मैं तो बेच दिया." So then I got to know that he was actually the person who actually wanted it, or maybe I would have felt better if I would have given it to my friend other than a stranger. So that is something we call a psychological factor also, that is giving a push to this idea.
Alright, we have time for one final question, and then we can take it offline. Pankaj is going to be with us for the networking session.
So what if America or foreign decides to copy this feature and put the friend recognition on this?
Actually, I was awaiting for this question. Already Nitya said you did it first. Okay, so we did it first. Okay, next thing. We are Quicker and OLX. They are actually seller concentric. Means like they actually consider the perspective of seller. But here the perspective of buyer is considered more. Okay, so they have to change their whole business plan for doing this. And moreover, we did some research with the Quicker and OLX high-end people. So we got to know that they don't care whether the ad is fake or real. They are just providing a platform. They don't care whether this person has already posted 40 ads. So it's like you actually got to know the real people, the real ads, and the ads which actually matter for you. So trusteddeal.com is a place where friends matter. So thank you.